Are we up? Hello, everybody. We had some technical difficulties, but we made it. I'm sorry. There's no fighting for love. Maybe we can play that at the intermission. Welcome to the show. Leafs, Panthers, Giggling Cat. I already saw you in the chat. I still think we can be friends, even if we're enemies. We're frenemies. Somebody said, I blame Drew. Well, I mean, it is. It is Drew's fault. It's always Drew's fault. Actually, not this time. It's technical difficulties. We got Austin Matthews highlights happening right now. The Leafs are honoring him, passing Matt Sundin. I've got something I want to play for you, but I think we should probably watch this together because this is kind of history in the making, right? It's not every day that you get a guy becoming the all-time leader in goals for the entire franchise that's 110 plus years old. Like, what are we doing? And here comes Matt Sundin to present the puck to Austin Matthews, 420 and 421. Maddie is doing the stream tonight and modding, so give Maddie a big round of applause. The Mad Dog. Ow! And there's Austin, and there's Matt's. And both of them started off with luscious locks, both of them going bald. Let's be honest. Apparently, if you're somebody who is losing their hair, there's some stuff. One of my best friends is a hairstylist, and he was saying there's a topical thing they're working on that's going to bring everybody's hair back. They think. So I'm just saying, like, yo, that could be helpful. Early 20s and your late 50s. That's when you lose it. You got to be careful. And there's Ty Domi videoing this whole thing. I'm sure he could just ask Sportsnet for the broadcast, but no, I need it for the gram. How is everybody tonight, by the way? Everybody good? Okay, we're going to get into the national anthems here. So let me play for you this. Our good friend Brad Marchand was in town today. Let's play that clip, Matty, because he trolls us every single damn time.
It was between Florida and Toronto of where I was going to go.
There it is. This guy.
I mean, ultimately, if I never thought that it was going to be possible to resign in Florida, I really didn't. Just with the guys that we had up and stuff like that. But Toronto, I was serious about what I said.
Let me know, Matty, when he's done, because I can't hear him.
As a group, the way that they're competing now, they compete the right way.
Yeah. So listen, Brad. He also said that it was between Toronto and Florida where he was going to sign this summer. You have to wonder, how close could the Leafs have gotten to getting Carlo and Brad Marchand? Because the Carlo deal was done before the Marchand deal was done. Could they not have just thrown in an extra third and said, come on, Brad, come on down? And the Leafs were going to pay him a fortune this summer. I mean, he did get paid a fortune in Florida. But, dude, it's one of those where I'm like, if that had happened, how does Game 7 look in the second round last year? Do they even get to Game 7? Because the Leafs were in control for the first 2.5 games. What does this season look like with all the injuries? Like, does Brad, who's got 46 points in 40 games this year, does he bring the vibes in a way that they need, in order to weather the storm through October, November? Like, just makes me sad as a Leaf fan. We could have had him. Meme Empress giving us the Bolts updates. I'm sure all the Panthers fans in the chat are thrilled that you're here. They want Bolts updates. That's what they're here for. Justin Drake, Marshy controlled Toronto because look at his track record against the Leafs. He owns Toronto. Man, truer words never spoken. I dislike him so much that I would have died for him to be a Leaf. That's how much dislike respect I have for him. That's a real thing, by the way. Dislike respect, that's a real thing. Where you're like, damn it, I hate you, but I respect you. And I would have loved that man in a Leafs jersey. It's a shame it never happened. It's a shame. Anyway, shout out everybody. Welcome. I think this is my first stream of 2026. I don't think I've done one yet. Yeah, it is. Welcome, Gripper Nation. We got a Tuesday night Leafs Panthers, a little bit of a late start. Next week it's going to be even later. We get 10 o'clock games next week, so we're going to enjoy the fact that it's only 7:30 today. Happy New Year to everybody. I know it's a little bit late. It's past the Larry David date of acceptable to say Happy New Year, but since it's our first time meeting, I'm going to say Happy New Year. We have Bobrovsky, we have Wall, we have a very injured Leafs team versus a very injured Panthers team, although that's going to change soon. The Florida Panthers are starting to get healthy, and that's going to be a little bit scary for a very mid-Atlantic division. James Stemler says, Marshy owns us so hard, Keith's job is in jeopardy. Keith's job? Keith. Pelly. Oh, Keith Pelly. Yeah, I don't think so. I think Keith Pelly's fine. He's doing a good job. Raptors are okay. Brandon Carlo making his return. We need him, too. We need him. And we need him at his best. Brandon Carlo needs to be the new Chris Tanev. I don't know. I saw an Anthony Petrelli. I don't know if you guys read Maple Leaf Hot Stove at all. But Anthony Petrelli was talking about Morgan Riley's usage and the fact that, playing 28 minutes a night is just not good. And anybody can agree with that. It's not hard. And he said, basically, why not when McCabe gets back, play Carlo and McCabe together like they used to play Tanev McCabe and see if you can create a new shutdown pair with those guys. Because playing Riley with Carlo seems like a bit of a waste. However, when Carlo showed up last year, Riley's numbers started to get good. So maybe there is so you do Stetcher, Ekman, Larson, Carlo, McCabe when McCabe's back, and then Riley and Benoit. Or Riley and Myers? It's not great, but it's not bad. And play Riley like a third pairing guy and just have him moving the puck and being great. Oh, is Nyes hurt already? Forsling hit him? Oh, no. Did he just trip? Oh, God. Oh, man. Please don't be hurt. Please don't be hurt. You didn't even wait for Sam Bennett to do something illegal. And by the way, speak of the devil, there's Sam Bennett to Brad Marchand down low. Austin Matthews collects. Balinskis keeps it in at the line. Balinskis, who I believe is on the Latvian Olympic team, just announced today. Couple of interesting names out there. Andre Kasha, by the way. Andre Kasha, former Leaf, going to be in the Olympics with the Czech team, along with former Leaf David Kampf. Andre Kasha was a pretty good Leaf, too. And it was a short time, and he had a lot of injuries. But, man, that guy was good. James Stemler says, I was only teasing saying Marsh is going to become the owner. Well, he is. Natalie Drake, hey, cool painting there behind you. Natalie Drake painted this for me. You guys ready? It says, everybody is welcome in Gripper Nation. I've been meaning to put this up all season long. And because I have ADHD, it's taken me half a season to do it, but here it is. And that's where it will stay. Because I think it's pretty cool. Meme Empress, fine. Panthers, fun fact, they're named for a North American cougar population here in Florida. They're endangered, so Panther is inaccurate. Oh, there you go. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. Sam Miskevich with a shot. That was kind of scary. The Leafs kind of got pinned there. And they finally get a change. Man, I don't even know what sort of Panthers the Leafs are playing. And I don't know what sort of Leafs the Leafs are playing. Like they took out of 6 games over the Christmas break, they took 10 of 12 points, which is really impressive. Pretty good pace, but they're going to have to keep that pace up for them to consider making the playoffs. Myers with a shot, saved by Bobrovsky. And it's going to be difficult. Like, I don't know that they can't do it. That's a double negative. I'm not saying they can't do it. And I believe they will do it. But a lot of things now have to go right. And you know that you're probably going to lose Tanev till at least the middle of the first round if you make it, right? So that sucks. And he's like their best defenseman by a country mile. You got that going on. You got Matthew Nyes clearly fighting something. William Nylander hasn't played since December 18th. Remember, he was day-to-day. That's called week-to-week. And he's just been skating on his own, but not skating with the team. Like, It's just been a season of injuries, and everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. It's nuts. Panthers, though, kind of had the same thing, and they haven't made any excuses. They're in a playoff spot. They had a tough start, but they're doing fine. They're doing fine. Giggling Cat says, I love you all, but we're not friends. What's the feeling? Goals, then fights, then goals? I don't know if there's going to be fights. I think there'll be goals. I think you were right. There'll be goals. I don't think we're going to see a goaltenders duel tonight. Bobrovsky is damn good against the Leafs, but Woll has been a little shaky lately, and it hasn't been helped out by his shaky defense. So I'm not really sure. 16:45, by the way, left in the first period. Forsling behind the net. Waiting. Into the Leafs zone. Here we go. Stetcher behind the net, fighting with Reinhart and Luostarinen. Scott Laughton misses a pass. It goes directly to the Florida Panthers defense and reload, and here they come. Sam Reinhart, Selke nominee last year, came second place to his line mate, Sasha Barkov, who got injured in training camp. Snapped an ACL, which was crazy. Emo Jalapeno says, Sportsnet says this game isn't available with my subscription on a Fire Stick, but it works on my phone with the same account. Very weird. That is weird. Maybe it's got a better geolocation. Is this a local? I think this is a local game. It's not a national game. So you probably got regionally blacked out for no reason at all. Maybe you can cast to your television. Myers, who always shoots, gets the puck in. Great shot on Bobrovsky. Creates a rebound. Nobody able to get there. And there's the red-hot Bobby McMahon, who was the first player since 2021 to lead the Leafs in goals in a month, over the course of a month, other than Matthews, Nylander, and Marner. That's quite the accomplishment. The last guy to do it was Zach Hyman, March 2021. That's right. Zach Hyman used to be a Leaf. How sad we all are. Bobby McMahon had 6 goals in December. That led the team. And that's pretty impressive. And by the way, he's looked pretty damn good since joining the Matthews line with Domi. And I also have noticed, and I was wondering about this, Matthew Knies has not been as fast this season. Clearly, there was a focus on gaining some weight and getting bigger, but he doesn't have quite the same explosiveness this year, I would say, that he had to last. And by the way, if you don't believe me, you can check NHL Edge. It's verifiable. You know who's looked a lot faster? Oh, here comes Robertson with Nick Robertson with a sneaky little backhand. Almost hits the net. And I think the Leafs have drawn a penalty, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. That's what happens when you get offensive zone pressure. Something the Leafs have not had much of all year, but hey, they got it now. So yeah, as I was saying, I wonder about the effect of pulling Matthew Knies off of Austin Matthews' line, because all of a sudden Matthews looks faster. So it's kind of a curious thing. And people were saying, oh, Matthews looks slow. He looks bad. He looks slow, whatever. He's been outstanding for the last 2 weeks. 5 goals in his last 2 games already here. And I'm thinking perhaps maybe the first line wasn't necessarily totally slow. Maybe they just played slow. We can't underestimate, too, Mark Savard being fired. Francois Labelle dropping 5 SDPN memberships and a super chat saying, hi, hope you all had a great holiday. Good run for both the Leafs and the Habs. Francois Labelle from Labelle Provence. He's a Habs fan, but he joins us for all the streams anyway because he's a cool guy. Oh, Tavares with a great redirect. Just a little off target. Oh, Morgan Riley. Over to Matthews. Matthews was open. Couldn't handle the pass. Couldn't get it off on time. Here we go. He's going to get it now. And, the Leafs get a rebound. Bobrovsky not able to cover. Matthews falls. And we're going to have what looks to be at very least a 2-on-1, almost a 3-on-1. Leafs get back. Shot on Woll. He's able to save it. And Matthews is going to get a breakaway. 14:03. Here we go. And he shoots. Bobrovsky with the right pad save. And Matthews almost collected his own rebound. Some very exciting back and forth hockey here tonight between the Panthers and the Leafs. Let's go, baby. Matias Maccelli and the second power play unit make it into the zone. Maccelli passes to nobody in particular, but it's okay. His teammates cover for him. Oh, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson is just offside, receiving the pass from Maccelli on his backhand. It wasn't really a great pass. Look at this. We got Natalie Drake dropping an SDPN membership. By the way, for anybody that's signed up for SDPN memberships, you are now going to be able to join our 4th episode every single week. It's called SDP VIP. And also, you can get ad-free episodes if you upgrade to the monthly tier of $6.99 a month. All SDP episodes early without any ads ever, as long as you have that subscription. A minute left in this power play. The PK for the Toronto Maple Leafs has been the best since the 1st of December in the league. Second place, Florida Panthers. So that's going to be interesting. The Leafs power play is also picking up. I'd say in the last couple of weeks, they're among the NHL's top power plays, if not the top. Somewhere. Oh, Robertson almost set up with a beauty one-timer. And that should be a penalty. Sam Bennett literally hooked Robertson down. What kind of bribes does Sam Bennett need to pay? I don't know how he does it. He's a cheat code. As in he cheats. And there's a code and they don't call it. I don't understand. Oh, Robertson with a backhand pass almost to the stick of Bennett. Not the place you want to do that. Robertson a shot. Oh, Bobrovsky gets it. Nick Waugh was in the right place to cover that. The Leafs power play looks dangerous. Listen, you're not going to score in every power play, but it's about creating chances. And they're doing it. I don't think the second-ranked Florida Panthers PK looked like a second-ranked PK on that particular one. The Leafs got a lot of scoring chances for a dead and anemic power play 2 weeks ago. It's amazing how well they're able to gain zone entries and set up possession now versus the way Mark Savard had them doing. It's crazy. Meme Empress forgot Panthers is inaccurate because they're not. Oh, wait, hold on. That's a different one. For some reason, my computer's not working properly, so you have to give me a second with these super chats. Meme Empress says, forgot Panthers is inaccurate because they're not a part of the Panther family, which means they can't roar, or instead they meow aggressively. Well, so the Florida Panther is based on a panther that does not exist in Florida. That's okay. I don't think there's any Golden Knights in Vegas. You know? I don't think there's any mammoth left over in Utah. It can be a figment of our imagination, for they are only names of sports teams, and Panthers are ferocious, and they've played ferociously the last few years. Chloe Kelly, how is it that the franchise is over 100 years old, and 421 is the most goals that anybody's ever scored? They all said screw it back in the day. Yeah, so Chloe, the deal is that Toronto had a bunch of superstars in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And then the 70s hit, and their owner was cheap and shitty, and they had 2 or 3. Oh, here we go. Lorentz in on his former team. Almost scores. Leafs are alive here. Lawton with a shot. It's a bit of a dribbler. Stetcher out front to Lorentz. Lorentz able to receive the puck. Stetcher back at the... I'll finish talking to you in a second here. Leafs fourth line, well, I guess with Matthews. Quite the fourth line. You've got Austin Matthews on it. Stetcher able to hold up Rodriguez. Hopefully Rodriguez got some sweaty glove to the face too. He deserves it. He deserves it. Now, let's talk about the Leafs' all-time goal scoring record and how low it is. It's low because if you look at the list, most of the guys on the list played in the 60s, played in the 50s and the 60s, when they only played 50 or 60 games per season. So already they're playing less games. They had flat sticks, and they were wooden, and the slap shot had barely been invented. And then you get into the 70s and 80s where people were scoring like crazy. You know, it wasn't out of bounds for a team like, say, the Oilers with all their firepower, like Gretzky and Messier and Curry and all those guys, to win games like 8-6. That was considered normal. And so you have guys like Gretzky, like Lemieux, hitting 200 points in a season. It's crazy, right? There were guys who were scoring 60 goals who would have been like third liners. The 80s were just nuts, right? And so the Toronto Maple Leafs throughout the 80s were atrocious. And they had that same cheap, shitty owner. And they had a couple of guys who could score, and that was it. And they wouldn't spend any money. So they sort of missed out on the crazy goal scoring records of teams like Montreal, like Detroit. Well, Detroit was terrible in the 80s, but who else? Pittsburgh, Edmonton, some of these major franchises that have all these incredible records that are not just team records, but NHL records. The Toronto Maple Leafs didn't get anybody. And then they got some star power at the beginning of the 90s when they traded for Doug Gilmour, and then a couple seasons later traded for Matt Sundin. Then you enter the dead puck era. And Matt Sundin was at his height in the dead puck era. And so for Matt Sundin to be a point-a-game player in what we call the dead puck era, which is the era from about 1998 right on through to the lockout in 2004, if you were a point-a-game player, you were the best player in the league. There were like 6 or 7 guys who were regularly getting over a point a game, which is hard to imagine. The game was extremely boring. It sucked. That's why they got rid of the 2-line pass rule, which was a lame rule. So all that is to say that the Leafs had a disturbing lack of star power in the eras where you could have scored a lot. And in the eras where you couldn't score a lot, they actually had some stars, but you couldn't score a lot. So that's kind of what's led to it. Also, let's be honest. The team has just been a comedy of errors through its entire history. So I think that's worth explaining. It's worth talking about. It's a good question, Chloe. Giggling Cat, Florida Panthers are kind of a puma mountain lion. They have a purring kind of growl and snarl. It's eerie to hear when you're out in the glades at night. They are extremely cool, but not a panther. Well, listen, I think pumas are cool, but panther, like Florida Pumas, I think panther sounds better. It's all good. It doesn't actually have to exist. Like, it's a team name. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Michelli strips it from Ekblad. Ekman-Larsson with a slap pass in. Tavares tries to make a round the net play. Not able to do it. Panthers clear. Ekman-Larsson up to Nyes. And in we go. Oh, giveaway! Tavares! Oh, and he gets the puck. Man, Forsling gave it away, but Forsling took it away too. Michelli on the half board. That was a prime opportunity. I just don't think Tavares got the handle on it the way he wanted. Tavares, by the way, has struggled with scoring. He had a really, really hot start this year, but he's kind of tailed off, as has Nylander. Here comes Nyes to Michelli. Michelli gets 2 Florida defensemen on him, and they are able to strip it. They're pretty good at that. A little bit of sloppy play from both sides here. I'd say, interestingly enough, more Florida than Toronto. And I know the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you know the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't expect that to last, but I'll take it. It means that we're pressing. By the way, I want to show you something. You see this mug? It looks like your normal black mug. It is not. It is a chargeable mug. It's called an Ember, and we're not getting paid for this. I'm just telling you, my mom got me this for Christmas, and it keeps your coffee warm while you're hanging out and talking on the podcast. So it keeps it warm for like an hour. So I'm drinking coffee, talking to you, and it stays warm instead of getting cold. How nice is that? And it actually keeps it pretty hot too. I don't like if I feel like my coffee's getting cold, I just chug it. Not that I don't mind a nice cold brew, but lukewarm coffee, not so into that. Not so into that. Burger Boy says the reason for the Panthers name was conservation. Well, I still think it's a good name. They could have been the Florida Wildcats. Then we would have to laugh at them. Everybody's the Wildcats. We can't have any more teams called the Wildcats. 9:03 left in the first period. Defensive zone draw for the Leafs. Nick Waugh, who has won a ton of faceoffs this year, just won another. And Nick Robertson and Nick Waugh are away. What could have been a 2-on-1, but Nico Mikkola gets in the way, breaks it up. Oh, and I think Easton Cowan's going to the box. Just tripped Balanskins up pretty obviously. Francois Labelle is calling you out in the chat, by the way. If you're here and you're watching, Francois Labelle from Labelle Provence he's pissed. He's mad. And do you know what happens when Quebecers get mad? They take to the streets. He said there's over 1,000 people watching and over 200 likes. Hit like. We need more than 200 likes for 1,000. You know what? I got to agree with him. Don't mess with Quebecers. You already know. Robert Bett says, how much does Igor Shesterkin being down hurt the Rangers? Do they have anything in the minors? Well, Jonathan Quick will play a little bit. I don't know about their goaltending depth, honestly, as a franchise, because I really only pay attention to Shesterkin, but I don't think he's going to be out that long. I think Emily Kaplan of ESPN was reporting. I believe I read that on Twitter. I'll have to look this up. Emily Kaplan was saying they've avoided the worst scenario. Emily Kaplan. Let me look this up for you so I make sure I have this right. She says, hearing the worst case scenario with Igor Shesterkin was avoided after he left last night's game with a non-contact injury. However, the Rangers goalie will go on the injured reserve with a lower body injury. He will continue to be evaluated. So that doesn't tell me much, but it sounds like the best part of the Rangers season will be the Olympic break when so many of them are on the Olympic team. Burger Boy 1000 says the Florida Panthers were near extinction, and thanks to efforts from the Panthers organization, they've been brought back. They're endangered. So they've been upgraded. That's great. That's really cool. I like that they do that. I did not know that. Giggling Cat. Giggling Cat, I got a question for you. What have you done to preserve the Florida Panther? All right. Cat the Cats fan, I'm calling you out direct. What have you done? Have you done anything? Man, are you a real fan? That's what I got to say. Everybody, Cat the Cats fan is always here, whether her Panthers are playing or not. So I have to call her out directly because since we're not friends tonight, we're going to have to fight. That's what it is. All right. Now, Leafs penalty kill, which has been spectacular, just as the Panthers penalty kill has been spectacular. Leafs are currently fourth in the entire NHL, but I believe they're close to first since December. If they're not first, then they must be third. They've been amazing in December. We'll see how they stack up. The Florida Panthers power play has not been as devastating as it normally is, but, they're missing some pretty key pieces, so you can forgive them. Sam Bennett on the half wall. Down low to Reinhart. Reinhart with a bit of a hard pass to Rodriguez. It goes up in the air and down the ice, and there's a minute 28 left. Aaron Ekblad back to collect. Girthy Bettman, I wish Nick Waugh was still on the Knights. Our fourth line has been so trashed this year. I love Nick Waugh. I think the one thing I will say, the one good thing about what happened with Marner, and, to be clear, if the Leafs were going to move on from a player, they should have been when he didn't have a no-trade clause, is getting Nick Waugh. I mean, they needed centerman. Last year going into the playoffs, that was an issue, and they got Lawton, and Lawton's been spectacular as the 4C. Like, they are swimming in good centermen this year. And Nick Waugh, especially lately, has really come on and been very strong. I really like the way he plays. He's a very smart player. And I think once they figure out who his permanent line mates are going to be, because he's played with just about everybody in the bottom 8-9 players on this team, he's going to start to score more. Like, I don't think he's going to get 15 goals this year, but he is a guy that has been really, really good lately as the lines have sort of settled in. Meme Empress, it's 1-0 for the Bolts, by the way, late period goal. Giggling Cat, Shameface. I have the Conservation Florida Panthers license plate. Does that count? You know what, Cat? It does. Because I would imagine that by buying that license plate, you have donated to conserving the Panther. Oh, off the post. Carter Verhaeghe rings one. Watch Medicine 77 says, hope Tkachuk plays soon. He's been practicing, but still no contact. You know what? Like, if you're a Panthers fan, you're just swimming in riches right now. Would you be, tell me Panthers fans, I can tell you how Leaf fans would react to this, but we haven't won 2 straight cups. How would you feel if Matthew Tkachuk's first game this season is at the Olympics? How would you feel if Matthew Tkachuk did not play an NHL game before playing for Team USA? Would you be mad? I feel like, and I've never won the cup, my team's never won the cup while I've been alive. I feel like I would be okay with it if they'd won a couple of straight cups. Like, I feel like, yeah, man, do whatever you want. Cowan's out of the box, by the way. Oh, Waugh gets it stripped, but was kind of in a dangerous position. I feel like if you're Matthew Tkachuk, maybe you get like a week in, maybe 2 weeks, but you don't need to push it. You know where Florida needs you. They need you for the playoffs. They don't need you to make the playoffs. You're going to be fine, and you're going to be playing in March. go to the Olympics, kick some ass, feel good about yourself, and then come home, play for the Panthers, go win a third cup. With the horseshoe that man has up his bottom, I can see it happening. Giggling Cat says, I would not be mad at Tkachuk unless he was re-injured during the Olympics. Yeah. 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 By the way, I heard somebody say, oh, we got to fight. Domi Ekblad, let's go. Max Domi's dad is here tonight. They can't punch each other, really, because they're just so in love that the hugs are, man, this is like a preteen dance near the end. Everybody's partnered up, and we're just going to dance real close. Remember that? When you started dancing, you'd be like, I'm dancing like this. And then at the end of it, you were like, you get closer. Oh, here we go. They've cleared it up. They're open. Oh, well, this is more of a grab fest. Somebody in the chat. Wow, it's real heated rivalry. That's very funny. I like that. Gator Dave. Oh, we got another Panthers fan. Gator. You must be a Panthers fan if your name's Gator Dave, right? Come on, Avs. Destroy the Zaps. Natalie Drake says Family Feud SDP was the best thing ever. That's one of our VIP episodes, by the way. Jesse decided that we were going to play Family Feud on the PS5. So it was Maddie and Jesse versus me and Steve. And man, it was fun. It was a riot. And I think Maddie and Jesse won it on like the last friggin' thing. I was so upset. If I remember correctly. Maddie, you guys lost. You guys won, right? Yeah. Okay. Maddie's gloating in my ear right now. You can't hear her, but she's loving it. Francois LaBelle, Matthews with 421 is good. He would be 5th on the Habs ever, below Rocket Richard at 544. Flower with 518. That would be Lefleur. La Grosse Bille at 507. Yvonne Cornwallier at 428. And Steve Shutt at 408. I forgot how many goals Steve Shutt scored. He scored a lot. I met him once at like the boat show in Toronto or something. And I remember I got his autograph, but and I had never seen him play. Like he played in the 70s, but my friend's dad refused to get his autograph because he was that ardent to believe in. He's like, I'm not going to get his autograph. My friend was like laughing at him. He's like, oh, come on. Who cares? Here we go. Watch Medicine 7747 says, I would trust my doctor, my lawyer, and Bill Zito to help my well-being. Tkachuk and Barkov can do whatever they want. We trust their mentality, and you should. Hockey's a game of results, and they sure do get them. 3 Stanley Cup finals in a row, 2 cups in those 3. That's pretty great. Meme Bempress, it's entirely possible to swim in a river, encounter a gator, a croc, and then a bull shark in southern Florida, so pick your river carefully. Kind of makes you wonder, the first people that showed up in Florida that were Europeans that had never seen a gator before, you have to wonder, like, that must have been surprising when they went to get like fresh water and stuff, right? That must have been kind of, a few people must not have come back. Nicolama? I think it would be bad for Tkachuk, but I wouldn't be upset about it as a Panthers fan. He played through a lot of injury in the playoffs for us already. That's fair. And by the way, shout out Natalie Drake. Drop in a SDPN membership. You rock, Natalie. We love you. James Stemler says Florida kind of seems like Australia light. It is. That's a really good point, at least creature-wise. I don't know everything else, but, Floridians seem to have a lot of fun. Australians definitely have a lot of fun. And everything can kill you. So, yeah. Well, they knew about crocodiles well because, okay. So the Europeans would have known about it because of Africa. Well, that's fair. But even so, do you think that they knew? Like, it's not like crocodiles make themselves apparent. You know what I'm saying? Like, they kind of like to hide. First guy that goes in for a bath, he's not coming back. Ridic says, I wish stadium DJs would play Puppy Love every time a fight breaks out. You know what? That's a good one. There should be like anti-fight playlists, like funny ones. Like I don't know. I feel like there's a Sabrina Carpenter that would fit Sabrina Carpenter song that would fit the moment. Meme Empress. Australia doesn't have gators though. Just saltwater crocs, arguably worse. Way worse. Are you kidding me? Gators and crocs are only found together in South Florida. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Yeah, saltwater crocs are scary, man. Because gators are not that scary. They've got this pointed snout, right? Like they're not crocs like eat people. I don't know that gators do. I don't know. Maybe they do, but I felt like, aren't they the ones with the thinner snout? Am I wrong? Where are my Florida people? Where are my Florida mans and women's? I need some. Oh, wow. Cowan just ran into 2 Panthers, and the Leafs. Oh, Austin just put it wide. He had a wide open, beautiful setup from Bobby McMahon after Easton Cowan accidentally took out 2 Florida Panthers in the neutral zone, and Austin just missed the damn net. Yeah, so by the way, I'm finding out. Oh, so it's crocs have the big long snouts. Alligators are the dangerous one. Okay. So which one's more dangerous then? Is it the alligator? Crocs are V snouts, gators are U snouts. Okay, there you go. Which one's more likely to eat me? That's what I want to know. Crocs, gators have big fat noses, much more chill. Crocs are more on-site attitude. Yeah, on-site, that's a very American term. We don't really say that up here because we don't have the standard ground laws that you guys do. Heather the Avs fan dropping 5 SDPN memberships. What's up, Heather the Avs fan? Taking on the Lightning tonight. And nice setup by Morgan Riley. Nick Waugh just misses. Oh, we got a broken stick. We got Robertson. Oh, he takes a kind of a hit to the head there. Not on purpose, but he's short. Lorentz, back to Riley. To Lorentz. Robertson goes off for a change. Ekman Larson, former Panther, won a cup. Michaela says, alligators are genuinely harmless 99% of the time. So it's crocs we got to worry out. You know what? Crocodiles would have been a good name for the Panthers. Like, I understand why they did the conservation thing. I think that's cool. Oh, big hit by Benoit there, and not exactly legal. But hey, it is the Panthers. You guys know what not exactly legal looks like. Let's be honest. Meme Empress, gators are friend-shaped, crocs are not. Okay. Oh, here we go. Leafs out front. Giveaway. Oh, Michelli can't get it away. And the Florida Panthers are going to get away. Oh, man. Myers just sort of stopped up an almost 2-on-1 there. And I don't even think he meant to. Like, if you're a Panthers fan and you're watching that, you're probably thinking, that's interference. And it is. But usually they call intentional interference. And I think that's just Myers being big and slow. Oh, McMahon almost beats. McMahon still surprises people with his speed. He is fast. There is some chippiness I'm noticing in this game now. And a lot of picks on both sides. A lot of that gentle sort of interference. Get some skin on them. Not quite interference. Not quite a pick. But, that little bit of, I'm sorry, I must be in your pathway. There's a little bit of that going on. Both sides, both teams. Waugh. 43 seconds to go in the period. He gets stripped. Shot from the point. Stick breaks. Goes to Morgan Riley's puck does not even get to the net. Easton Cowan with a turnaround in his zone. Gets the puck to Nick Waugh. Leafs are going to break out here. And the Panthers are going to be a bit of a man short here because there's a guy coming back from the corner. Shot over to Robertson. Robertson across. Scores! An unbelievable setup. Nick Waugh to Robertson to Cowan. Tic-tac-toe. Not that clean, but hey, we'll take it. The Toronto Maple Leafs with 24 seconds left in the first period are up 1-0, baby. Let's go! To all the Panthers fans and other fans of the Panthers in the chat, apologies. This is not a neutral broadcast, but you knew that. Wow. Great play. Cowan, Waugh, and Robertson have really had it going on. Great play from Robertson to Cowan, and that's got to feel good for Cowan. He's missed some unbelievable chances in the last few games. Like, unreal. You're like, Easton, this is gifted to you. But on this one, boom. And sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need. Just a little bit of a easy goal, get the monkey off your back, that sort of thing. Justin Drake, crocs are listed as one of the top 5 predators along with tigers, polar bears, lions, and leopards that will hunt humans for food, not out of desperation, but by choice. Well, remind me not to swim with one. Robert Bett, think about how many goals Sundin would have scored in Toronto if he'd started in Toronto, except for instead of the Nordiques where he had Sakic in front of him. Yeah, Sundin's best point years, by the way, were in Quebec. I think he had a 100-point season before the Leafs traded Wendell Clark for him. Sort of funny, eh? Like, Toronto back then, they were like, what do you mean you traded Wendell Clark for this young Swedish guy? This is stupid. And listen, Wendell Clark is a legend in Toronto. But the Matt Sundin trade, like Cliff Fletcher made the Gilmore trade and Cliff Fletcher made the Sundin trade. Both were outstanding trades. But I would argue that the greatest trade Cliff Fletcher ever made was Wendell Clark for Sundin. You know what? Maybe I'll do like a top 5 best trades in Leafs history video sometime, or best Cliff Fletcher trades, because Cliff Fletcher is he still works with the Leafs. He is 90, doesn't leave the house, but he still does scouting reports and everything for them. Sam says, least boring Leafs game in a long time. Man, you can always get up for the Panthers, man. That's a team you wake up and you play against. You know they're going to bring it. Meme Emperor says baby gators sound like baby gators sound like a laser gun. Yes, they have that ew, thing, don't they? Do adult gators make noise? Is it like a roar, or do they have more of a Death Star sounding laser? Like, does the laser get deeper? SLS says, Adam, are you a Stranger Fans thing? And did you watch? Are you a Stranger Things fan? And did you watch the finale? There's my dyslexia coming in. Stranger Things fan. Stranger Things. Yes. And I love that show. And I love the finale. And I know there's a bunch of haters on the internet about it. And I know it's been 10 years to make 5 episodes, or 5 seasons, but you got to remember, like, there was COVID in there. I think it's a phenomenal TV show, top to tail. I loved it. I thought the ending was good. I thought the lead up to the ending was good. I thought it was all great. Love the show. I'm just saying. Love the show. Red Wings 80 should have called themselves Mr. Worldwide 305s. The Florida Mr. 305s, I think would have actually, you're right, elite name, but not really relevant until about 2007, 2008. That's when Pitbull kind of broke on the scene. So it would have been 10 years of people going, what the fuck? But then, once Mr. 305 hit, would have been the team of the year. Magic Mud says, go Leafs go. Exactly. I mean, I agree. Go Leafs go. Who could disagree? Lindsay N says, you see Melanson scored on Monday. Who he played for? I don't even remember who he played for. I don't even remember who Melanson played for. That was a fun episode, though. I love that game, who he played for, and I got killed in it. Now, listen, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a few Olympians playing in this game, both on the Florida Panthers. Well, actually, there's a few Olympians not playing for the Florida Panthers. Barkov would have been an Olympian. Tkachuk is an Olympian, not playing. Florida Panthers have some Olympians. The Toronto Maple Leafs have some Olympians. Who were the snubs? Canada and USA rosters. We went through this on the Steve Dangle podcast. We're going to play that clip now, and then I'm going to come back and hang out with you again for the second period. Check it out.
We have the rosters, right? We know what they are. We know who's on them, and I can pull them up if you want. But what I wanted to ask you
freestyle it
is about,
guess. Remember
what I wanted to ask you about is the teams. Obviously,
that's the junior.
That's
one.
the World Juniors. Yeah. the teams and the players that they selected, and specifically 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
The teams that are most loaded with NHL talent, top 3 are Canada, United States, and Sweden. I would put Finland in there. Without Sasha Barkov, there's probably not going to be a fit here for what we're talking about. What I want to talk about is snubs, because we have, I'm sure you saw ad nauseum the amount of, takes and that sort of thing. And I think sometimes when you've got like a week to think about something, you think about it, you sleep on it. Everybody wants that instant reaction. But now here we are about a week later, and we know what this team looks like for Team Canada. If you were to say, hey, I'm a general manager, which Jesse used to be, and I would have done it differently, here's how I would have done it. Who's the one snub from Team Canada that you think is maybe not egregious, but somebody that you've been like, I would have gone with this person instead?
I don't know if it's so much I would have gone with this person instead, but I was shocked they left Sam Bennett off. Shocked. He just won the Conn Smythe Trophy, right? So Jordan Binnington is on this team because he's having a good season? Well, no.
No, you can't keep jumping around. You keep it to Sam Bennett.
No. I understand your point.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say the same thing.
All
He's
right.
on this team because he's having a good season?
No, he's not.
No.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the Four Nations team because he was having a good season?
No, he's not.
No.
He's got pictures of Doug Armstrong.
Well, he was on the team. Okay, that's a very important factor. The bias of his own general manager, which will come up later in conversations. But there's proof of concept of him winning in high leverage situations.
Yes.
They trusted him, and it looked shaky at first, and lo and behold, they were right. Sam Bennett has been an incredible playoff performer outside of last season. And then he won the Conn Smythe Trophy. And go back to the Four Nation Face-Off final. Who tied the game?
Yeah.
Sam Bennett.
Yeah.
Who was, yes, a healthy scratch at times during that tournament. But of all the guys they could have taken off, because I know they wanted Suzuki, and I was surprised they took Suzuki. Not against the pick, but I was surprised they did.
Well, there's some tension between him and Hockey Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess they get along now. I was surprised that Sam Bennett was the casualty.
Jesse, who do you think is most egregious in terms of snubs? Who would you put in instead?
Now, I don't know if he'd even, like, if I'm doing the team strictly based on who's the best and who's playing the best and who fits the best as a team, I'm not even sure if he'd make the roster, but he might be a healthy scratch, and I think he deserves to be there as a healthy scratch, but I'm not sure he'd actually crack the forward group.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't even in consideration for my least favorite thing that happens with these teams, and that is the political game that these people who run these national teams always play with these players. Connor Bedard was never allowed to be on this team, regardless of how good or bad his season was. And his season was very good. He was amongst the league leaders in goal scoring when he went out for injury, and he had a fantastic year. And I get the people talk about his defensive deficiencies, but they have people for that. He's a great goal scorer. And Doug Armstrong said the quiet part out loud when he was asked about whether Bedard was considered for the team before he got injured. And he said no, in short words. He said no, because Bedard didn't do enough so far this season. But if we're looking at where he was in comparison to Celebrini, like, they were right there. And because Bedard decided to poo-poo the World Championships last season and not go over and play with that squad and decide to get healthy for this upcoming season because he wasn't happy with where his game was at ending last season, Team Canada said, you're on our no-fly list.
Which sucks.
And that's bullshit. And they do this with the damn kids at the World Juniors all the time. Every kid who goes to the NCAA, you're on the blacklist for Team Canada. And now they're doing it with these kids at the kids, because Bedard still is a kid, but these men at the professional level, where you're not doing enough for Team Canada, so we're not even going to consider you. And I think that's disgusting. That's why I'm calling it the biggest.
Well, that's
snub.
why Suzuki was maybe not going to be on the
exactly.
team.
Team Canada
played it so much.
Team Canada, by the way, is not held to that standard. Like, their management. Hey, if you come to this tournament no one really cares about it, people are gonna they care about it in Europe, but over here, we're snobs about the World Championship, frankly. It's going to help you. It didn't help John Tavares. And the much more egregious one, if we're gonna go with like the future of the program, and you scratch our back or I'll scratch yours, and performing well, Seth Jarvis.
What
was all of last year about?
When he was not named to the roster, it wasn't even a conversation. Like people weren't even bringing
Bedard or Jarvis?
Jarvis, because people weren't even talking about it because they were just like, nah, he's done. So it wasn't even like on all these projected lists, but he 100% has a case to be there.
Yeah. And I'm not like, would I have named him to the team personally? Probably not. If he ended up on the team because of injury, like I'd have no problem with it. Like I think at the bottom of the lineup, like the margins are so small, and it's like it's star out, star in sort of thing. But all the stuff he did for a case to be on this team did not apply.
No.
But if you snub Team Canada at any point, and I think this applies to other programs too, you're persona non grata, which isn't fair.
So that Bedard's my biggest snub because he wasn't even in consideration for strictly politics. And it's disgusting.
And I think that's a great point, Jess. Also, my fantasy team has just died since he went down. And Leo Carlson's injured too, so it just sucks. But hey, I think that Islanders fans will be upset, especially after Matthew Schaefer dunked on the Leafs for me not to pick him. And I wanted him on the team, but I'm not gonna go there. For me,
might end up there anyway.
Yeah, he might end up there anyway. For me, it's gonna be in goal. And if we're gonna, as you said, leave Sam Bennett off the team or Seth Jarvis off the team because their start wasn't very good. Jordan Binnington pitched a shutout as soon as he was named to the team, so this is kind of hilarious.
Yeah,
but. There is one of these things is not like the other going on with this. And I believe that one of Mackenzie Blackwood or Scott Wedgwood, and I would say Wedgwood because he's played more games, deserved a third spot. I don't even think Binnington should be starting. I don't know if he should be dressed. Like, I think it's got to be Logan Thompson, Darcy Kemper.
If he's there, he has to start.
I know.
That's
the part I don't like that. You know, it's like, that's nice that happened 8 months ago, but this is sports. 8 months is a long time. And I think it's more like, what have you done for me lately? And I know that's not how they're going to operate. I know that they're weirdly loyal to certain people, and you got to respect it. And I got to say too, like, if you look at the way this roster is constructed, it's like, well, half the Tampa Bay Lightning are here, and we've left the Florida Panther off. That's an interesting rivalry situation.
It reads interesting. Well, wait till we get to Team USA.
Yes, exactly. So we'll leave it there with Team Canada for now. Let's go to Team USA. And I want to know, snubs-wise, who do you think you would take? Because obviously, there's the big one, which people got on me before Christmas for saying, I don't think Jason Robertson's going to be on this team.
Yeah, which one of you wants Robertson? Because, like, I can do Fox. One of us is doing Robertson.
Jesse, I don't want Robertson.
You take Robertson.
I'll take Robertson?
Yeah, you take Robertson.
It's one of the least justifiable Olympic snubs in the history of NHL players going to the Olympics. What on God's green earth could he have possibly done? It's absurd to me that the Dallas Stars have 5, 6 Olympians, and he's not one of them? He's their best player. He is the Dallas Stars' best player this season, certainly. You can make arguments for
Mikko or Miro Heiskanen or
Rantanen, my bad.
The point of hockey is to score goals. He's the best on the team at scoring goals.
Yeah. I keep forgetting Rantanen is a star.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
But if you include JT Miller and Vinny Trocheck, who both have
what are we doing?
And Garen called them glue guys. And I saw somebody online going, wow, if you're called a glue guy, you know you're not very good anymore.
It's moving the goalpoasts.
Well, tell me how. Tell me how.
You're moving the goalposts because you're acknowledging, like, if you're you're allowed to be a star and a good guy too. Like, you're allowed to be a star and someone who holds the team together. I think they call those leaders.
Yeah.
I don't know how stoked I am to have my $8 million captain referred to as a glue guy. I know everyone has to take on a different role at the Olympics. Like, Rick Nash all of a sudden turns into, I don't know, some like Kirk Maltby. Hey, Kirk Maltby retired. We need someone to be Kirk Maltby. How about the guy who won the rocket, right? Like, it's the Olympics and everyone gets a little weird. But the Team USA had a lot of turnover from the Four Nation face-off, and a lot of it was righting wrongs. Like Tage Thompson should have been on that team.
Yes.
And he led at the end of the season all-American players in goal scoring.
Yep.
With I think 44. Kyle Connor, who was on the team but scratched for the final, was tied for second with 41. And he's on this team. So, okay, it's not like an anti-skill thing. Why the hell isn't Jason Robertson on this team? I don't get that at all. At all.
Jesse.
I think Cole Caulfield is such a useful player. And if I would have him there over Trocheck. And I think he's gone under the radar in terms of he can score as good as any of the wingers they have. And his defensive abilities are now up there with everybody else. And I don't understand why he's not in consideration as well. He was never hey, he's right there with getting in. It's just kind of, they have their guys and they don't want to discuss anything further.
Yep.
I think Cole Caulfield's a huge snub from this team.
I'm going to go with...
It's just confusing because they have new guys, though. They have new guys, and neither of those players were able to work themselves into the conversation of new guys.
I want to talk to you about a defenseman that has 28 points in 29 games on a bad New York team.
Man,
Adam Fox, guys, he is back. I know he's had a couple of not great seasons, and he did give away the pass that ultimately led to the goal in the Four Nations final, whatever. Adam Fox is still a phenomenal defenseman and has looked very, very good this year and has scored a lot of points. And I'm trying to understand how Team USA feels like they're better without him.
Hello, lovers. We're back, getting ready for the second period. I gotta tell you, I'm feeling pretty good about how the Leafs played in the first period, which is scary because now we're heading into the second period where they have been bad all season. Best second period team in the entire NHL last year. This year, they're the worst second period team in the entire NHL. Why? Why does this happen? Why do they do this to us? Why can't we just enjoy our lives all together? But we can't. By the way, I know I missed some super chats. I'm going to get to them right now. Here we go. Some more Crocodiles versus Gators stuff because I think it's Gators that have that laser sound when they're young babies. As they get older, according to Giggling Cat, who is a Panthers fan, Gators, a.k.a. swamp puppies, honk and bark. They are slightly bulletproof. Are they actually slightly bulletproof? They can also run, jump their length, including their tail, and they can climb fences, and barbed wire doesn't stop them. Wow. I can understand why people have those closed off, pool, whatever they call them in Florida. Because, it's hot as hell. You want to have a pool. But I'm pretty sure if you didn't have those, full-on covers in your back, you'd wake up with a gator or two in your pool every damn day. I don't even know how you let your dog out in the backyard. Meme Empress, if you're hearing an adult gator, they're telling you to get lost because they're ambush predators. It's sort of a hissy growl or a bellow. Well, that's interesting. I'm loving this. We're taking a Florida agriculture tour, which James Stemler, who's also part of this chat, it's Australia Light, which I think is actually a very apt description for wildlife in Florida. Leif Olpstad, hockey execs are called a boys club for a reason. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I guess would that be into the clip about us and the brain's not working. Clip again, Canada and United States, right? The Canada and United States one. It's what it is. Robert Bett 11 says never seen the show. The thing was strange for me. You mean Stranger Things? Somebody asked before I left, hey, did you like the finale? Did you watch the finale of Stranger Things? I loved it. I straight up loved it. And I don't understand why more people don't love it. Well, actually, I think a lot of people did. I think it's just people get on the internet to hate, and I get that because I have been a hater for certain things. But I think that show was really well written, and I thought the ending was really good. And I think when we look back, you go watch that show from the beginning, it's a It's different from like anything that was on TV at the time. Anything. I love that show. And I will always love that show, and you can't take it away from me. Face off is on, and we already have an offside. All right. Grabberger. Okay, what was the best period of the Matthews era? That was the most unfun play I think I've ever seen them be. Florida was having trouble keeping up. Thoughts? Was that the best? Oh, I didn't read that properly. Was that the best period of the Matthews era? No. The best period of the Matthews era, probably one of the best periods of the Matthews era, has to be his first game against Ottawa ever. Remember, he had 4 goals in that game. One of those periods has to be at least top 10. And it's unfortunate because there's a lot of great Matthews victory and great periods and great plays, but not a lot of them in the playoffs. We need to get him on a good, hot playoff run. Pickleball Pat checking in. Hey, Adam, just checking in. Have another fun stream. Thank you, Pickleball Pat. You know we love you. Stetcher with the shot. Scores! John Tavares finds Troy Stetcher, and I think it bounced. He's going, did it bounce off you? I think it might have gone off Matthew Nyes. It fools Bobrovsky. Through the legs, baby. Because if you're going to shoot at Bobrovsky, he's probably going to save it, so you need to redirect it. Meme Empress. Gators usually... Oh, okay, I'll get back to that. Talking about Gators. I would like to talk about this. So Nyes and Michelli make it through the neutral zone. Michelli does a really smart thing. Banks it off the board. It takes a funny bounce, goes right up front. Tavares collects. And that nice little slap pass shot from Stetcher, and Matthew Nyes is able to clip that out of midair. Oh, that's a good goal. Troy Stetcher has been an absolute god for the Leafs. What a waiver pickup. Like, it's so funny when you talk to people who are like, man, how did the Florida Panthers build such a good team? Smart waiver pickups, guys that were going to break out, like Gus Forsling. That was a waiver pickup. I think, wasn't Luster-Reinen a throw-in from the Vinny Trocheck trade? Like, there's just things, man. They're smart. The Leafs need to be smart like that. I think the Florida Panthers have one of the best front offices in the entire league. And the results are that they won the Cup twice. All right. Now, Meme Empress. Gators usually leave bigger dogs alone, especially if there's more than one. Smaller than a golden retriever, and you got to keep your eye out. Okay, that's interesting. Emo Jalapeno. Without spoilers, do you believe? And I'm assuming this is in relation to Stranger Things. My hot take is that I think no. I think no. I think it was noble what happened, but I think no. James Stemler, I think the internet creates a false sense of hate for things. As with anything, the haters are the loudest, which makes them seem like the majority. It's true, James. Stranger Things was really good. Tyson Barnett. Adam, why do Olympic teams have to name players 1 year before the event? No sport does this. Why are active NHL coaches picking teams? Sounds like a conflict of interest. FIFA World Cup squads are announced a week before the tournament. Yeah, I think that's the NHL thinking that it's going to be, good, slick promo. I actually think, good save there by Joseph Wolof, Gus Forsling through traffic. I think, personally for me, I would love for us to still be talking about who might be on the team. Like, maybe it's the NHLPA that needs the announcement more than a week out because these guys have to book vacation. I don't know. But for me, I would be happy if it was a mid-January announce because I feel like it got buried at New Year's, right? You've got the World Juniors going on. People are with their families. Like, do it in mid-January where there's nothing going on. And also, I don't understand why you got to pick all those players early, too. Like, you look at Braden Point, and no disrespect to the great career that he's had, but he's looked like a ghost of himself this year. I don't think, if he wasn't already named to the team, I don't think he would have been. Like, that might be Sam Bennett's spot. And I know he plays a different game than Bennett, but they have a lot of guys that do what Braden Point does. Oh, great pass. Lorentz with the shot off Bobrovsky. It's an easy save, but he's looking for the rebound there. That's my opinion, Tyson. It's just what I think. I could be wrong. All right, here we go. I'm just going to read some chats here. We got a lot of super chats. Here we go. Meme Empress. I have 2 golden doodles. I live on a lake, no fence, and I have seen gators. I've never had a problem. So they're big. Nyes and Tavares out there again. First shift since the goal. Michelli, who has been outstanding since he's come back, sets up Tavares with the shot. Nyes looking for the rebound, but Mikkola is able to hold up his stick and avoid any sort of rebound whatsoever. That's how you clear somebody from in front of your net. Troy Stecher with a shot. Oh, and he almost handcuffed Bobrovsky there. They thought the pass was going to Nyes. He was again tied up by Mikkola, but Stecher snuck in, got the shot away, and Bobrovsky with a great shoulder save. 16:09 left in the third period. Michelli gets crushed by Mikkola. Fans in the arena want a penalty. There's no penalty there. Nyes trying to break in. Shot up front. Scores! Matthew Nyes uses his size and sets up number 34 for number 422. It's Nyes Matthews from Nyes, and a great Boulder play. This is Matthew Nyes going, okay, it's mine now. Nico Mikkola was having a lot of trouble with him. And he'd done a pretty damn good job, but Nyes is a tough guy to contain. And Nyes makes a great move through Luosterainen with Mikkola on his tail. Look at that little deke there on Luosterainen. And nobody picks up Matthews. Nyes was able to draw 2 guys. Nobody picks up Austin. Great play. Leafs up 3-0, excuse me. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah, brother, in the chat? Gripper Nation, are you feeling it right now? Toronto Maple Leafs are actually out shooting a team. Who forget that it's the Panthers. They're out shooting anybody. It's happening. Now, usually, if you're a Leafs fan, you know this. This is a prime opportunity for them to let in a goal within 40 seconds. So we'll see what happens. If you're a Panthers fan, fear not. The Leafs will forget that they have to play hockey and allow you to get a quick shot. But actually, they haven't done it. Hell yeah, brother. A lot of hell yeah, brothers coming in the chat. Here comes Domi. Domi should have shot that damn puck. How many times have I said that this year? Good shot from the point from Benoit. Rebound is kicked beautifully to the side by Bobrovsky, I have to say. Bobrovsky's really good at placing his rebounds, which is a underrated goalie skill. And it's so friggin' frustrating because he put it right to his defenseman there. There was a Leaf player there, but there was no chance they had it. Benoit to Myers. Myers up the ice. And that is going to be an icing. All right, let's get to some super chats here. Ceci Roth. The East has more depth compared to the West. Best team in the Pacific has 46 points. Ottawa last in the Atlantic with 45. Yeah, you got to remember too. I think what you're seeing there is haves and have-nots, and that's a different way of saying what you said. The best teams in the West are outstanding. The worst teams in the West are deplorable. I don't think that I don't think anybody in the Atlantic is happy with how their season's gone, with the exception of the Detroit Red Wings, who should be thrilled. Panthers are coming on. Tampa's been up and down. Sabres won 10 straight. Like, it's kind of nuts, right? It's a bizarre year and a transition year. You've got teams like Anaheim succeeding, although they've fallen off a bit lately. You got San Jose tied for the last wild card spot as of tonight. There's a bit of a changing of the guard going on, and there's going to be some teams, and I'm hoping Toronto's not one of them, that are going to fall off. And so this is what these transition years kind of look like. I still think the Florida Panthers are a scary matchup in the playoffs. I think they're pretty scary for anybody, especially if they're healthy. And I think they will be this year. I don't know that Barkov's going to play in the first round, but they get through that second round. He's playing, dude. He's playing. I know he's going to play. Lorentz. Back to Ekman Larson. Leafs looking to make the play out of their zone. Sportsnet looking to go to commercial break, but you can't go to commercial break on an icing. Puck goes out to the center. Oh, great play. Steven Lorentz in on his own team. Oh, his old team. And he could not score. Bobrovsky had him the whole way. But a nice breakaway shot by Nyes. One-timer from the point. That goes off of Who I think it's 71. Why am I Luke Kunin? And I think that probably hurt. I think that didn't feel good. But he's a tough guy. Nice. Out front. Oh, unable to make the play to anybody, but a great play nonetheless, still using that size, which you have to do against this Florida Panthers defense. The Leafs are tall up front, but they don't play big. And Matthew Nyes does. We need more of that. Michelli turns back, pass over, shot, and what a save by Bobrovsky. Unbelievable seeing eye shot, and that was over to Riley, excuse me. And Bobrovsky saw that shit the whole way, and he makes a great save. And listen, they might be down 3-0, but these are still the Florida Panthers. That's still Sergei Bobrovsky. Leafs have got to be careful, especially with the way they let teams back into these games. Now, Grab says, I didn't mean it was Matthew's best period. I think it was the team's best period of this era. I don't know if it was the team's best period of this era, but it might have been one of their best first period for the Leafs. That might have been one of their best periods of the season. No question about that. Nikki says, are you watching a different feed than what's on TV? No. I don't think so. Sydney Magic 15. Good evening, Adam and Gripper Nation. How's it going? Well, listen, we're up 3-0 against the Panthers. I'm not going to complain about that. I'm pretty happy, actually. Sydney Magic 15, thank you for joining us, as always. Yanni Havisto. I have Tavares and Lundell in fantasy tonight. Actually, I should look and see who I have in fantasy. I've got Matthews in fantasy. I got Mitch Koff, and he left the game injured. And I've got Ekman Larson. You wouldn't believe the injuries I have. Leo Carlson went down last week, and he is playing hurt and playing bad. Bedard went down 3 weeks ago. My team has struggled to win ever since. I have Nazar. He's injured. I have Marco Rossi. He's injured. It's insane. Like Matthews is my starting center. My second center is Michael Backlund. I could have put Jared McCann in that spot, but he's in the utility spot. It's not great. Owe says, I think we need to talk Gators and Crocs every game. You know what? I've really enjoyed it, actually. I really enjoyed it. I love getting a Floridian perspective on just life in general, because life in Ontario is just so different. It's like, oh, man, we might have a raccoon going through our garbage. It's like Floridians let their dogs outside and go, well, we better watch in case the big friggin' scary dinosaur lizard doesn't eat it. Synergy, I love Troy Stetcher. Me too. Me too. Francois Labelle. Is it too early to call it after is it too early to call it after the Leafs after all the Leafs have never blown a 3-goal lead? Oh man, it is way too. It will be too early to call it with 30 seconds left if they're up 3-0. You never, ever, ever put failure past the Toronto Maple Leafs. Meme Empress. All right, Bolts and Cats fans have to sound off with their favorite Florida native animal all-start. I absolutely adore gray foxes. I don't even know what a gray fox is. Let's look up what a gray fox is. Gray fox. I can see why you like a gray fox. They're pretty cute. They kind of look like a cat dog. Big bushy tail. Sedin Magic 15 with another super chat. I had to choose between Bob and Wall tonight. I guess I chose right. Well, for right now, the Leafs are bad at defense. Really bad. The Wash Bear, you guys don't get it. This is just Game 6 Leafs. In Game 7, they'll collapse. That's a funny super chat. And that is dark. And I could tell you're deep in Leafs lore. Whether or not you're a Leaf fan, I don't know. But I could tell you know this team. By the way, I made this coffee over an hour ago. And I'm using this mug that my mom bought me for Christmas. It's an Ember mug. And it keeps it warm. And it is still piping hot. I love this thing. This is cool. I'm loving it. And the inside of the mug doesn't feel that hot. But the liquid's hot. I don't have to rush through my coffees anymore. Here we go. Michelli, who has been on fire tonight, skating like the wind, drops for Stetcher. Stetcher loses the puck. Nobody covers. Marchand over. Oh, and the Leafs are, Oliver Ekman-Larsson's able to break up the 2-on-1. And it was crazy because the puck ended up on Marchand's stick anyway. And Tavares was then able to get it off of him. But that was pretty close. Michelli dumps the puck in. Nyes giving chase to Tavares. To Nyes. Back to the point with Benoit. It's the Benoit-Myers pairing out there. We also know in Toronto as the please, oh my God, don't do anything stupid pairing. We love them both, but they, as I've said before, Philip Myers handles the puck like it's a live grenade. But he's played well tonight. Dumps the puck in, gives chase. Lawton able to grab. Defense, I think, is due for a change here, but they didn't make one there. Nico Mikkola brings it through the neutral zone, dumps it deep into the Leaf zone. Luosterainen grabs it. Lorentz all over him. Lawton. Yarncroke. Deep in the Panther zone, then turned around and goes back through the Leafs neutral zone. Reinhart now putting it deep into the Leaf zone. Riley gives chase. Luosterainen tries to hit Riley. Kind of doesn't really hit him. Takes the body. Lorentz. Back to Carlo, who's been noticeably boring tonight, which is good when you've got a defensive defenseman. I want you to be boring. I don't want to think about you. That's what you need. Great defensive defensemen, you don't notice them all night because nothing happened when they were on the ice. That's a Steve Dangleism, by the way. He told me that once, and I never forgot it. I'm like, damn, he's right. Oh! Speaking of Steve Dangleisms, we almost had, if you're a goaltender, 10 the goal. Joseph Woll comes out of the net to play the puck behind the net, which is something he needs to do more of. And the Panthers sort of exposed him in the second round last year after Stolarz went out. His puck handling was not anywhere near what Stolarz was. But that puck took a weird bounce off the corner boards, and it almost left him out in the open. Whew. All right, we got a lot of stream. We've got a lot of super chats to get to, and I will get to them. But this is too exciting of a game to interrupt at the moment. There will be a commercial break in just a second because we've crossed the 10-minute mark, which means Sportsnet's going to be looking for a whistle. Robertson to Myers. Myers deep. Nick Waugh on the half board. Back to Stetcher. Stetcher barely keeps it in. Ekman-Larsson shoots. It's off of, I think, was that? Oh, that was off of Boquist's ankle, and he is in pain. He is in pain. I don't know if maybe he's not in pain. Did he just lose a skate blade? I feel like he was in pain. Rodriguez shoots off the blocker of Woll and wide right. Samoskevich. Back to Balanskins. And a save through traffic, and Joseph Woll is able. AJ Greer in there causing shit like AJ Greer does. Joseph Woll was able to get his hands on that rebound. Rodriguez and Greer causing shit because they're shit causers. Tarina says, purge the blood from your caffeine system, Adam. Agreed. Listen, I've only got a little coffee left, but it's still hot. Still blazing. Cool Man Lanny asked, chat, are we cooking? The chat's been cooking tonight. I think it's been a good one. It's been fun tonight. Denise Campbell says, thoughts on the World Juniors Sunday was unreal. Okay, the World Juniors, those two semifinals games, right? Finland versus Sweden. Oh my God. It's like for national pride. And then Czech versus Canada. Those were why the World Juniors are so great to watch. Like, it's interesting. When the World Juniors start, everybody's like, yeah, I'm so excited. And they kind of peter off. But the World Juniors, to me, are always like, they're a little bit boring at the beginning, and then they grow in excitement because these teams come together. The players are emotional. They don't really have control over all their emotions yet because they're kids. And the defense and the goaltending is never there. It's the best kind of hockey you can watch. The swings are incredible. I absolutely love Sunday. I watched both games. They were so phenomenal. They were amazing. And then I really have to hand it to Canada because normally when Canada loses in the semis, they're like, screw it, we don't need the bronze medal anyway, and they take their ball and go home. Those guys got out there and played really hard and got the bronze. And I really respected that. And I think it shows genuine improvement over the last couple of years where they've been on the quarterfinals. I don't think we need like a whole every year that Canada doesn't win at the World Juniors. All of us in the media do this thing where we're like, oh, Oh my God, Canada's not good at hockey anymore. I don't agree with that at all. There's a lot of eligible players for Team Canada that are playing in the NHL, which is the whole point. I'm not making excuses for Team Canada. I'm just saying we're doing fine. We're doing fine. Maybe we could develop better goaltenders. There are some concerns about the lack of developed talent out of Quebec these days because it's a hockey hotbed and the development system isn't yielding the same results as it used to. But honestly, Team Canada is fine. It's just that other countries are catching up, and that's bound to happen. Brandon says, what Leafs would you send to Edmonton for Mangiapane and Trent Frederick? Hypothetically asking for a friend. Michelli, Yarncroke? I think Michelli and Yarncroke are both more useful than both of those players. Mangiapane, I think, had the chance to come to Toronto and didn't. I don't think he lends. Oh, here we go. Matthews with another breakaway. Oh, and Bobrovsky gets across the ice. Matthews can't get it up. Bobrovsky's got the whole bottom of the net covered. Listen, the Leafs have got 3 goals on vintage Bob tonight. You got to protect this lead because Bob, I don't know if he's going to let another one in. He's still playing well. He's not giving up. That was a hell of a save. That's Matthews' second breakaway of the night. He never usually gets one in a game. They're finding him, though. Finally. I keep saying it on the stream. Hey, maybe if they pass to Matthews, he'll score more. They're starting to do that, and what's happening? Oh, he scored more. It's crazy. Oh, McMahon with an interception there. And out comes Nyes with Tavares. Tavares is going to break through. Oh, can't get the shot away. Good body position by the Florida Panthers D there. Riley cutting across, shot. And it just sort of tips away before Michelli can get a stick on it. I will answer your trade question in a second. I promise. I'm coming back to it. I haven't forgot about you. Michelli digging in the corner in a way that he was just not doing earlier this season. Michelli is doing the all-effort thing, and I really like it. Lindell. Myers is able to keep it in on the Lindell clearing attempt. And the puck goes down the ice, and it's an icing. So, what would you send to Edmonton for Mangiapane and Frederick, hypothetically asking your friend Michelli Yarncroke? I would send neither, and I would want neither. I'm a big fan of Trent Frederick. I think Trent Frederick's problem in Edmonton is the way the coach is playing him. I don't think it is that Trent Frederick's all of a sudden bad at hockey. He had a pretty significant ankle injury, I think it was last year. So maybe he's not at 100% this year, but I think it's also Chris Knobloch playing him like a fourth-line center when he's just signed a $4 million 8-year contract. You got to, if you think he's supposed to be your third center forever and ever, amen, then you need to play him like that. And I know Oilers fans are kind of ticked about it, and I can understand their point. They haven't loved the way the Oilers have deployed their players this year. And Mangiapane was really good in Washington last year. I think he's a guy that has to fit into a specific system. I don't think he would do well in Toronto. I don't think Berube needs another guy like that at $3.6 million this year and next. So I would say you pass on both. And no disrespect to either of them, I just don't see them as a fit. Emo Jalapeno. The way I can tell the difference is that Gators say see you later and Crocodiles say see you in a while. My bad if somebody already said this. You know what? I respect the joke. I love a good dad joke, as we know. Meme Empress, make sure that's an Eurocron gray fox you looked at and not a Vulpes. Vulpes? Gray foxes have semi-retractable claws, can climb trees, and are roughly the size of a house cat. Wow. I guess to be an animal, especially a mammal in Florida, you need to be able to climb trees. It's the only way the Crocs are not going to get you. Panthers shot. Oh, Joseph Woll gave up a big, fat, juicy rebound. I don't think the Toronto defense was prepared for that. And Florida was. And thank God that Woll was able to make the second save because that was scary. Florida really pressing here in the last few minutes. They are pushing and they are skating. And out comes Scott Lawton. Lawton leaves the puck. Shot! Steven Lorentz has had 3 solid scoring chances tonight, which is way more than he normally gets. Put that one over the net. Lawton with a great play. to Yarncroke. Benoit looking for the shot. Look at Simon Benoit acting like he's Alexander Ovechkin with the shot. I can do it. Don't make me do it. Good play. Balanskins, by the way, got to give him a bit of give him some flowers for getting back and getting on to Scott Lawton. Man, this fourth line for Toronto, I'm telling you, they are really good. James Stemler, I'm going to reiterate what Freech said on 32 Thoughts about Canada on the international stage. Objectively, the same country winning every year is boring, except for the Olympics. Maybe the World Juniors, but I want Olympic gold next month, okay? I'm not even going to lie about that fact. I want that so friggin' bad. So bad. So bad. All right, what else we got here? Tyson Barnett, should teams wear matching suits, team outfits, instead of personal outfits and suits? For example, every Leaf wears a Navy suit. Well, it used to be that you had to wear suits, but this year they obviously changed it. And I think anybody that I saw some prominent people on Leafs Twitter when the Leafs were doing poorly say that they think that part of the problem is they don't have to wear suits to games anymore. And I'm like, okay, all right. So you're going to tell me objectively, you're going to tell me that a suit makes a difference in a hockey game. If wearing a suit or wearing a uniform to a hockey game makes a difference in the hockey game, then your team sucks. Team sucks. I think players should be able to wear whatever the hell they want, and it's none of my friggin' business. Although they do post their fits and stuff, and whatever. They want to be fashionable and express themselves, let them. It doesn't make you good at hockey or not good at hockey. I don't know why we have to explain this in the year 2026, but we do. Damn, that coffee was hot still. Woo! Finished it off, but it was hot. Sweden, Finland was such a phenomenal game to watch. I agree. Husner says, hey, Adam, who would you want the Leafs to acquire if they are buyers this season? I want them to acquire 0 assets. I want them to go for the playoffs with the guys they have, make the playoffs. That's got to be the goal this year. I'm not looking for Stanley Cup aspirations this year. I am looking for play good as a team, learn to play as a team, do your augmenting this summer if you need to, trades and free agency. Make no trades at the deadline. Nothing. I think you go with because the team has not proven to you that they're worth upgrading. Oh, Riley just fans on a great setup by Domi. That's frustrating. That kind of is Riley's season encapsulated. He's got a lot of points, but the defensive side has not been great. That's my opinion. I don't think, listen, they're going to say, well, you always look to make your team better. But yeah, the Leafs don't have a lot of assets to sell. And unless you're able to get a front of the line, let's say you're able to get Roman Josi. Okay, I talked to Nashville about Roman Josi. I put him on this Leafs team. That instantly makes your defense better. I don't think Roman Josi's on the trade block, and I don't think Nashville would trade him, but I'm trying to give you a sense of the type of player that I would be like, okay, yeah, you can trade Ben Danford now. And you're 28 first, because they don't have the first this year. They don't have it next year. The last one they have is 2028. That's kind of scary. I would rather them learn to play as a team, get in and be the underdogs, and maybe be a likable underdog type group. And then next year, come back with a mid-level free agency signing, hopefully somebody else to help augment the first line with Austin Matthews, and maybe another defenseman. And I think you got to re-sign Scott Lawton too. But that's my opinion on it. I don't want a crazy trade deadline for the Leafs. And it's sad because crazy trade deadlines for the Leafs are great for SDPN. The views are crazy, but I do think this is the year to stand pat. See what you got. Sinful Skyline says, Devils playing on the island and losing 5-0. Devils fan threw a jersey on the ice. These guys are beyond cooked, and ownership management does nothing. I hate it here. It's so interesting watching Devils fans freak out because they've got every right to. But what's fascinating about it is that they have so much less patience than Leafs fans do. Like, the Leafs many, 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 many times underperformed their talent. And if you're a Leafs fan, you know exactly when and where and how and all that. And Leaf fans would be like, no, 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 they'll get them next year. Devils fans are like, screw this, dude. It's like 3 years of this crap. Can you guys pull it together? And, you know, I don't think there's been a general manager fired this season. Tom Fitzgerald might be the guy. Like, it might happen. So, yeah, I don't blame Devils fans at all. Also, the Devils need to get meaner. They're just not that mean up front. You need some. I'm not saying that you need to be like just a bunch of knuckle draggers, but like you need like Timo Meier to feel comfortable taking shots at people, right? Oh, that's a terrible hit. Lawton gets crushed from behind. Oh, man, somebody better stand up for him. That's I mean, listen, he might have had the puck and it might have been legal, but holy shit. I'm going to have to look at that again. That sucks. Lawton has had a lot of injuries this year. I hope he's okay. Yeah, so Lawton, I think Lawton's nose is scratched too from his visor. Wow. You know what? I mean, listen, if he has the puck, it's a legal hit. Unless it's boarding. McMahon, down deep. Best revenge here for the Leafs is a goal. That's what they need to do. Remember, best revenge is a goal. You got a minute left. Do not allow a goal. Do not allow a goal. Do not give the Panthers life. McMahon with a good hit. And then, you know what? That's the best kind of hit. Knocks the player down and knocks him off the puck. It's a useful hit. Freak 811 dropping 10 SDPN memberships. Oh, we're just getting crazy dropping memberships like we're at the strip club. I've been to a strip club twice in my life. I do not enjoy them. I'm just like it used to be in the music videos growing up. They always make them seem so much more fun. They're not that fun. Tavares. And we got 20 seconds to go. Carlo makes the play to Nyes. Leafs now, I think, are just going to rag the puck. You don't need to take any risks. Puck down low, 10 seconds to go. Matthew Nyes giving chase. And the Devils are going to make one last push with Lindell and Luosterainen. And Lindell splits the D and friggin' draws a penalty. Riley, rag the puck, dude. 0.5 seconds to go. Rag the puck. Why did you shoot it up the ice, man? You know what? Listen, I will always respect Morgan Riley, the man. So that hit on Lawton did not look good, but he's playing. I cannot understand why he would have fired the puck up the ice like that. Why did you do that? Why did you friggin' do that, dude? Oh, that's so frustrating. Oh. All right. Well, the Leafs are going to start the third period down a man. That's okay. It's going to happen. Lawton is bleeding. And he is pissed at the ref for not making that call. I don't know if that was the wrong... Like, I don't know if the ref should have made a call there. Maddie says she thinks the guy should have stood up for him. I think Benoit is right now. Benoit and Marchand. Yeah, like... Okay, here's the problem that you have if you're the Leafs. You could stand up for Scott Lawton after that, and you could fight somebody. But you might get an instigator. And it might be a 2-minute penalty. And then you might let Florida back in the game. You're up 3-0. The team's been struggling. Oh, he's pissed. Lawton is mad. I love this guy. I can't tell you how much I love Scott Lawton. I want his jersey. I think this guy freaking rocks. And anybody who is watching the Leafs regularly who does not see it, I'm like, guys, this guy's freaking awesome. He is exactly what they needed. They need more Scott Lawtons. Attitude and toughness and man, I love this guy. Yeah, so Riley clock management is just unbelievable. I just did not like that at all. Freak 811, bro, I am with you on strip joints. I'm also 45. Yeah, you know what? I think what it is that I just find it to be like everybody's like, oh, because I grew up on like Ludacris and Lil Wayne and all that music, and it's like, oh, down at the strip club when we're throwing ones or twos. Blah. It's like it's never like that. It's always a bunch of sad old men in a bar and playing Def Leppard. And I love Def Leppard, but it's just, you know what I'm saying? Hawks23 says Steelers winning and Adam streaming. Best combo. Man, I don't know if you guys saw that Steelers-Ravens game, but the Steelers should not have won it. I can't. So first off, it's crazy. The Steelers score a touchdown late. They come back heavy in the second half of the game. They play great, and they miss a point after the touchdown. So it would have put them up 3 with like a minute to go. And the Ravens would have only been able to tie the game. But instead now, the Steelers got to kick to the Ravens and then hope that they don't get into field goal range, which of course they do. And they get real close, like 30 yards. And for some unbelievable reason, the Ravens rookie kicker, who's been pretty damn good this year, misses. It was crazy. I thought it was over. I'm like, Tomlin's gone. It's done. Goodbye, Aaron Rodgers. Nice career. Holy shit. And as a Leaf fan, as a Steeler fan, as a Blue Jay fan, like nothing good ever happens, right? I've at least seen the Steelers win a couple Super Bowls, which is nice. But nothing really good has happened for the Steelers since like 2011 when they made the Super Bowl and lost to Aaron Rodgers. Don't think I forgot. So it's nice now for something good to happen. Now, they're going to get filled in probably against Houston because I think Houston's got the second best defense in the entire NFL. But it was nice for that week. It was nice. It was nice. Keith must be thinking so much for the real NHL. Yo, Devils fans they don't mess around, dude. Devils fans for me they're a mix of what Islanders and Flyers fans are. Same level of passion as both fan bases and a ton of I don't give a fuck. Like they are 10 out of 10 level on the if you bother me, if you push me, I'm gonna let you know. New Jersey, people from New Jersey do not care that they're not gonna be quiet about how they feel about these things. And I'm not surprised there was a jersey on the ice tonight. I'm not surprised the team's going through troubles. I don't know what they do about it though. Like, I don't think there's any big trades they can make right now. Devils fans are pissed about the fact that they missed out on Quinn Hughes. Why did they miss out on Quinn Hughes? Because they couldn't clear the Dougie Hamilton, Andre Palat salary stuff. And now you got to think, if you're a Devils fan, well, shit. What if Jack Hughes decides, screw this in New Jersey, I want to go to Minnesota to play with Quinn? Yikes. And you've got your $9 million Luke Hughes not playing $9 million hockey. Let's be honest. I saw that press conference, by the way, afterwards. My heart broke for that guy. Dude, so brutal. So brutal. That's the way it goes sometimes. He'll be fine. But I felt for him. You could see the tears in his eyes, man. Anyway, I know I got to get to break here, but I want to say, Freak, thank you for dropping 10 SDPN memberships. You freaking rock. Meme Empress, bruh, so many stadium jerseys in the crowd in Tampa Bay. By the way, I have a stadium jersey from Tampa. I can bring it at the beginning of the third period. It's better in person. I'm still not a huge fan of it. I think the shoulder patch should have been the thing. And then I know we have a ton of super chats to get to here, but I'm going to have to get to them after we play the clip. Let me go. Robar says, I thought New Jersey was the real NHL, but I guess they throw stuff on the ice too. Yes, they do in New Jersey. I'll come back. We'll hit some super chats at the beginning of the third period. Right now, though, I want to talk to you about the suspension. Logan Stanley, Brady Tkachuk. You can tell, by the way, if you're a Panthers fan, you're going to be able to pick up on the fact that Steve Dangle is not a fan of the way the Tkachuks always get away with stuff. Because Brady Tkachuk got cold-cocked for nothing. And Steve still took Logan Stanley's side. Take a look at the clip.
there were a couple of suspensions and a couple of non-suspensions we needed to talk about over the break. I don't love spending too much time on this because the answer is always the same, which is Steve is going to say George Peros
Sucks a lot.
Oh, I thought you were going to say resign.
He's a wage thief. And yeah, resign.
A wage thief.
He doesn't do his job. He's just a wage thief.
Now, do you guys think, let's put our conspiracy theory hats on, okay?
Okay.
Do you guys think that Brad Marchand was not suspended for the head hit on Mike Matheson because he had to play in the outdoor game the next day?
Yes.
blatantly,
Yes.
nakedly,
Yes.
disgracefully, yes.
That was
Now, I
a, that
knew
was a
would be
money
your
call.
answer, but Jesse being voice of reason.
Yeah, no, that was a money call. Like
Money
we
call.
want Brad Marchand in this outdoor game. There's a lot of money and PR going into that. We're not suspending him. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I think it was very obvious and transparent that was the case.
Yeah, because you don't want to rob the Florida fans of that. Also, Mike Matheson, fuck you and your brain cells, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
He missed did he miss a game? He missed a practice. For
I'm
sure.
not sure.
Yeah, well, and why was that? Oh, I think it was the traumatic blow to the head.
Yeah,
All right,
he did
well,
miss a game. He did miss a game.
Yeah. So Brad got to do whatever he wanted the day before the outdoor game because he knew he was going to play in that game.
Veteran move. Veteran move. You can hit anyone you want, do whatever the fuck you want before an outdoor game.
We have 2 sucker punch suspensions.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is John Beecher, who's having a really rough go in Calgary. He's just not a great season.
And got injured
Yeah.
on the play that got him suspended.
So he took a swing at Michael McCarron while the refs were trying to break them up. And
that was a sucker punch.
that seemed to me like pretty obvious one game.
The fight's over and he clocked a guy.
Yeah, not good. The interesting one, the Logan Stanley one is interesting because Brady Tkachuk was pretty obvious with the ref going, I did not want to fight him. And had
Brady Tkachuk?
Yeah, Brady Tkachuk had he said I wasn't looking. Did you see him afterwards?
Yeah,
Because he had the
never
bandage
looked.
on his hand.
Do you want to just show
You
the Beecher
never
one for the
look.
audience?
Sure.
Here's Beecher and McCarron.
Yeah.
Here he is. So he's there in the scrum right here, and the refs are in the middle. There's 2 of them,
Yeah.
and he goes and he cocks him
No, it's
right
chicken
there.
shit.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that. There's the punch. You see it there. Can't do that. That's a game. And the NHL was right to suspend him there.
Yes.
He did it to fire up the boys. Like, look at the bench.
Oh yeah,
Look
they
at the
loved
bench.
it.
Yeah,
It's
they love
No,
it.
that's one you take.
It's important that
Look at
it
this.
matters that this is right in front of the Flames bench. He's like, you know what? I'm doing this for the boys.
Yeah.
Whack!
Look out, they're all jacked.
And he drops them, and they're all like,
Boom.
yeah, but nope, sorry, you're suspended.
look. This is fucking-
Yeah, look at who is that? Is that Uyghur? I
Oh,
can't. I
look at the-
can't tell.
look
It's
at the
so
faces.
It's so grainy. The whole bench. Look at Nas. Yeah, no, they're fired up, but like, yeah, no, that's a chicken. Oh wait, Uyghur's on the ice, you idiot. No, he fired up the boys, but yeah, that's a full on sucker punch.
And if you're having a rough season, you want to fire up the boys.
Yeah,
right?
whatever.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But with the Brady Tkachuk thing, like, I know Sens fans are like, oh, like, just because it's Brady Tkachuk. Well, it matters who you are. And
So
the
Brady was saying to the ref, just so I can explain it,
yeah.
he got into it with Logan Stanley. Logan Stanley is huge, right?
He's 6'7", over 230. He's literally one of the biggest players in the league.
You'd have to be crazy to actually fight him. But Brady and him are getting into it as they do.
Brady's huge, by the
And
way.
Logan punches him, and Brady's gloves are not off.
Yeah, huh?
And Brady says to the ref, hey, I have a thing on my hand. I absolutely am not
He's full of shit.
wanting to fight.
He's
So
completely
you
full
think
of
he's
shit.
full of shit. I'm interested. So Jesse, let's run it through here. So Brady and Logan, Brady basically pushes Logan sort of into the bench and then kind of gets him in the face.
Yeah,
They
he
pushed
grabs
each
his
other.
Stick.
And,
They took turns.
now
Logan tried to
did
shove
take his
him.
helmet off.
Oh, you mean Brady's?
Yeah, Logan
Yeah,
took Brady's helmet off, and then he sucker punches Brady, which is where I think the suspension comes in.
So they go there.
Brady, okay, so
Wham.
here's the thing. Brady's right hand is messed up.
Yeah.
Cool. You're grabbing me with your left and you're throwing your patented little rabbit punches at me. You're full of shit. Okay, you didn't have your gloves off, so you weren't going to... No, but you were doing your little Brady Tkachuk thing that your brother also does. I wasn't looking. You're never looking.
They don't fight very
I
much.
pointed this out less than a week before this happened with the Leaf Sens game because Brady was connected with, I don't remember who the Leaf was, but he's doing that thing where both, I don't know how it's genetic, but they will grab you, they're not looking at you, and they punch you. Oh, veteran move, savvy veteran. Is it a veteran move if we all know what's fucking happening? Like, are the refs just this stupid?
Still a veteran move.
Like,
Sure.
I guess they're just this stupid then.
Yeah.
So Brady being like, oh, my hand. Well, that's not the one you were hitting him with. You're full of shit. But
You also can't do what Logan Stanley did.
Stanley glove off punches him right in the face.
Well, he's not looking. He's not looking either.
You're doing a lot of...
Okay.
Okay.
Here. Let me drop some veteran savvy on you.
Okay.
A 6'7", 230-pound man has you in his hands. Look.
All right, Jesse. What do you think here?
Can I play the Department of Player Safety?
Sure.
All right, so we'll listen to this. This is their explanation for what's going on. Our favorite voiceover man, high sticking history, coming at the end.
Who is this guy? I wish we knew. Jim?
Jim.
All right, let's hear from Jim.
Saturday night in Ottawa, Jets defenseman Logan Stanley was penalized for throwing a hard, ungloved punch to the face of Senators forward Brady Tkachuk. As the video shows, Tkachuk finishes a check on Stanley by the player's bench, and the two become entangled, with Stanley grabbing onto Tkachuk and causing his helmet to come off. As the two are tied up, Tkachuk continues to monitor the play and gives no indication he is prepared for the interaction to escalate to a fight.
Stop.
While Tkachuk
You've lost. How far into the video are we?
35 seconds.
Cool. You have no credibility and you're lying. He said, with a straight voice,
Show what's happening.
Brady Tkachuk continues to monitor the play. He's got the man ass up on the bench. Are you fucking with us?
Brady Tkachuk is pinning him to the Sens bench.
And by the way, Logan Stanley has fallen back so far that his left leg is par with Tkachuk's head.
Yeah.
Every day, in every way, it is not a professional hockey league. That's shameful. Good Lord.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
But Logan Stanley did still cock him.
Yeah,
And I
okay,
think that's a
fine.
suspendable play.
But okay, why not just say, as you can see here, Brady Tkachuk is walking home with his groceries, minding his own business. Like, fuck off. He's dumping the guy over the ropes, Royal Rumble style, and he's monitoring the play. Fuck off. All right, play it.
Tkachuk continues to monitor the play and gives no indication he is prepared for the interaction to escalate
He's
to a fight.
monitoring the play.
While Tkachuk remains focused on the play, Stanley sheds both gloves and throws a hard, bare-knuckle punch directly to the face of Tkachuk. This is roughing.
Yeah.
It is important to note that at no point in this altercation does Tkachuk show any interest in participating in a fight. Tkachuk's gloves remain on his hands, and he gives no indication that he is a willing or suspecting combatant as he continues to monitor the play down ice rather than focusing directly on Stanley. With no reason to suspect that Tkachuk is ready or willing to fight.
We have to back up. How did they do it twice? They did it twice in the same video.
In this instance, where Brady Tkachuk, I almost called him Matthew, has Logan Stanley pinned to the bench.
Yeah.
The NHL is arguing that Brady Tkachuk is monitoring the play down ice. That's a quote.
Brady Tkachuk is taking a phone call with his accountant to work on his taxes. Are you fucking with us right now?
No, they're not.
One of these videos that comes out, I'm like, this is the Ministry of Propaganda. Like, what the fuck are we actually
He's
doing?
monitoring the play down ice.
Here he is. Here, show him monitoring the play.
Down ice.
There he is.
Yeah, no,
there he is.
monitoring.
Here's what would make these videos a million times
He
better.
also doesn't have his helmet on.
Yeah, because
And
Logan Stanley
he
just
should
took it off.
immediately leave the ice.
Yeah. No, I think what he should do is Goldberg spear a guy into his own bench while another player fucks with him, apparently. Like, who is that?
Oh, yeah.
So what would make these videos so much better is if they allowed me to edit and interrupt them. Because
That's what this podcast
at no point does Brady Tkachuk show that he's a willing combatant in a fight. Yes, but he is very much a willing participant in shithousery.
Yes.
Which is what he always fucking does.
Yeah.
Both of them. Play it. Play more of these liars.
There, here we go. Let's go. Work it back.
Remain on his hands, and he gives no indication that he is a willing or suspecting combatant as he continues to monitor the play down ice rather than focusing directly on Stanley. With no reason to suspect that Tkachuk is ready or willing to fight, Stanley still drops his gloves and delivers a forceful, bare-fisted punch to Tkachuk's face at a time when Tkachuk is not poised to defend himself.
Can't do that.
To summarize,
Key points.
this is roughing.
Yeah.
Stanley has been neither fined nor suspended
history.
previously
No
in his
history.
242-game
history.
NHL career.
There you go.
Now, he just fire blasts him in the face. Sens fans were mad, and they probably had good reason to be mad that I believe the Jets came away with the power play here, which is kind of nuts. And part of me wonders if he's given 5 in the moment, does he get a game? I'm not sure, because to me, because essentially what they're saying with a game suspension to each is what Stanley and Beecher did is the same. And I think the vast majority of hockey fans would disagree with that. I think. Like, what Beecher did is so very clearly chicken shit to me. Whereas Stanley has reason to believe there's a paw coming directly at his face. Oh, but his hand, fuck your hand. You're grabbing me. I'll beat the shit out of you. How about that? Maybe you should make different decisions since your health situation is different than it was the last time we played. You have limitations because your hand, behave differently. You're not going to? Here's a little fist for you.
I get the suspension.
I get it too.
I get the suspension.
I think they actually made the right decision.
I think they did too.
I think Brady. So if you're talking about the penalties, he got a 10 minutes for misconduct. Logan Stanley got 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for removing an opponent's helmet. So it was 4 minutes to Logan, but 10 minutes to Brady. And I think Logan Stanley deserved that suspension in that instance.
Yeah. I think the thing that bothers you is not that Logan Stanley got suspended. It's their characterization of Brady Tkachuk. It has nothing to do with Logan
Your
Stanley.
whole issue is with that man personally.
Brady Tkachuk, pictured here, serving soup to the homeless on Christmas Eve. What the fuck are we doing?
Brady Tkachuk petting dogs.
Man.
Brady
Playing with
Tkachuk,
puppies.
seen here rescuing dogs from a kill shelter, stuffing them into his van and driving away in the middle of the night. What are
Brady
we
Tkachuk
talking about?
Building LeBreton Flats all by himself.
All right, baby, let's get back for the third period. Jesse just messaged me from the game because he's there tonight, and he said we're about to have a chippy third. I think so. Scott Lawton. So I did have a look at that hit that Scott Lawton took from behind, and straight up, that should have been a penalty, man. That should have for sure been a penalty. That's at least 2 minutes, at least. By the way, we got a bunch of super chats to get to, and I haven't forgotten you. Alex92, I feel like I am calm and collected, and then Marchand gets on the ice. Well, get ready for the third period because he's about to get on the ice for a power play, and not in the Leafs' favor. Sedin Magic 15, instead of standing pat at the deadline, how about the Leafs sell Riley? I know he has a no-trade clause. Here's the thing. You'd be selling him at pretty low value. So Lawton started the third period, but he is killing a penalty. And he's the one that obviously took the hit from behind, was bleeding at the end of the period. Ref didn't call anything, and Lawton was pissed about it. Here comes Lorentz, by the way, just digging along the boards, trying to kill as much time as he possibly can. Both of these teams have very, very strong penalty killing. So it's a question of, can they break each other's penalty kill? And the Leafs clear it again. Lorentz and Lawton are going to change. 1:20 left in the power play. Panthers have yet to get fully set up in the zone. Philip Myers shoots the puck out. Leafs are doing a good job killing this penalty, which is good because, frankly, Florida can score goals, and the Leafs can allow them. One of the problems the Leafs have this year, they are actually scoring at a higher rate, if you can believe it, than they were last year. More goals per game this year than last year at the same time. The problem is they're allowing exactly as many goals as they score. And a lot of that was early in the season. Oh, big save by Woll! Big rebound out front. Reinhardt. And he puts it right into the chest of Joseph Wohl. Woo! That was close. And the best chance that the Florida Panthers have had on the power play, Luostarinen and Lawton are going at it because it was Luostarinen. Luostarinen was the guy that hit Lawton from behind earlier, and Lawton's going to let him hear it. I will get to all the super chats, by the way. Don't you worry about me in the super chats. Oh, Marchand caught McMahon in the ear earlier in that period, too. Damn, dude. It's getting a little chippy in here. "32 seconds to go in the period. Or in the power play. Stetcher is able to get it out. Lawton gets past Forsling. He's going to break for one. Oh, and he can't totally beat Forsling. But a really good play and a great penalty kill thus far. 15 seconds to go. There have been pretty good scoring opportunities by the Florida Panthers. Wohl caught behind the net, but he's able to clear the puck. Lawton along the boards. Stetcher gets it. He's hit by is that Samoskevich? I think it is. Oh, here we go. Shot and big save by Joseph Wohl, who's got the body position. Penalty over. Dylan Webster says, watching Morgan Rielly right now reminds me of the end of Dion Phaneuf. I keep expecting good things offensively and just get bad things defensively. Listen, Rielly had a really good start to the year points-wise, but the defense has been bad. Defense has been bad. Freak811 says, did you see that the Steelers brought a priest in to bless the end zone? Well, clearly it worked. Sorry, I got an itchy eye here, guys. I don't know what it is. I know it's not the most attractive thing to look at on screen, but oh well. Oh well, you're going to have to deal. All right. This period, I think there's going to be some ratcheted tensions. I think there's going to be some cheap shots thrown. My cheap shots per 20. I'm gonna set it at 3.5. We're gonna see at least 4. That's why I set it at 3.5. If you're taking the over or the under, at least 4 in my mind. Definite cheap shots, 2 from each team. The refs are talking about something here. What's happening here? So the Leafs are going to try to chip this out. Is it? Oh, no. Is Myers going into the box? Oh, my God. What do I tell you about Philip Myers? What do I say? Philip Myers, God bless him, handles the puck like it's a live grenade. Like, I feel for him. He's having a hard year. He was good last year. Dude, what the actual F? I think that's even that's just bad luck. Oh, that pisses me off. Now the Leafs got to kill another penalty. And listen, they're good at it, but don't exhaust your penalty killers. They got off the ice 15 friggin' seconds ago, and they just kicked. Oh, man, the linesman just kicked Lawton out of the faceoff dot, and he is pissed. And the linesman's giving him shit. You know what? Lawton should be all over these friggin' guys. The linesman just told Scott Lawton to fuck off. Did you guys see that? The linesman literally just said fuck off to Scott Lawton. Wow. Wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. There's professionalism. Oh, my God. Troy Stetcher almost put one in his own net. But Joseph Wohl's pad was there. Thank the heavens. Shots are now knotted up at 17-17. The Leafs have been out shooting the Panthers most of this game. But, of course, taking 4 minutes of penalties to start the period never helps. Oh, no. Oh. And they blew it down. I thought Lorentz had got it out, but it actually went out of didn't just get out of the neutrals, or sorry, out into the neutral zone. It obviously hit somebody on the bench. Oh, man. Bennett missed a prime opportunity. Couldn't happen to a worse guy. Okay. All right. It would have been nice to see a lot. And by the way, I don't actually think Sam Bennett's a bad person. He's just a bad person on the ice. And Panthers fans, you can agree with that. You know. You flat out know. So it's Waugh and Yarncroke out killing penalties now. And that shot goes wide. We got a minute left in this PK. Row Live 95. Thanks to Mike Tomlin's dark magic, we finally fired Jim Harbaugh, and I'm kind of cool with the loss. Flock Nation. Yeah, I got a friend who's a big Ravens fan, and he's like, you know what? Whoever lost that game was getting fired, and I'm happy it was us. Because the Steelers are going to go 9-7 or 10-8 or whatever it is next year, too. He's probably right. Reinhardt loses it. Puck is cleared. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Big shout out to Tyson Barnett gifting 5 SDPN memberships. I don't even know when you gifted those. I know it was a long time ago. Meme Empress. I forgot. I got to get your 2. Oh my God. Steven Lorenz with his 4th huge scoring opportunity of the game. The puck took a weird bounce, dropped on his stick, and nobody, including Bobrovsky, knew where it was. And there was a skate in the way, and it just could not go. Lawton clears the puck, and the penalty is over. Really, really good penalty killing from the Leafs. Please be the last penalty you have to kill. Please be the last one. Also, Lawton's got to be careful here. I know he's pissed at the refs and the linesmen and everybody. Let's not get an unsportsmanlike. The linesman's telling you to fuck off. You're probably getting a little spicy out there. Noah Gregor, former Leaf, breaking in. Wool's able to stop that. Kunin kind of gives it a little snap afterwards. Leafs clear him out from the net. Meme Emperor says 3-2 Bolts. Hagel serving up a bagel. LOL. Giggling Cat. Jesse pushing play and then leaning back and grinning is amazing. Damn, he knows how to create constant content in Steve's brain. I love it. I guess you guys were really loving that Kachuk clip, weren't you? Graybar says the NHL has LASIK as a sponsor. They might need one. Yeah, it's true. Freak 1188 or 811 says Steve's hate of the Kachucks is palpable. Freak 811 says the Kachuk brothers are the Hanson brothers from Slapshot. That's true. Van Yish says Artur Silovs made the Latvian Olympic team. Artie party. Artur Silovs. I've got, you know what? I like him. He was Vancouver's goalie through a good part of the first playoff run that I did doing these streams, which was a few years ago now. Started in the Nashville series, then went to the Edmonton series, and that's when Demko got injured. And there's this kid, Artur Silovs, and he's coming in. AJ Greer. Oh, no, that's not AJ Greer. I thought that was AJ Greer. It was clearly not. But here comes Balance Kids. I know it's him. Saved by Joseph Woll, and a big one. Leafs are not playing great defense right now, but Joseph Woll is. Thank God. Oliver Ekman-Larsson fires that puck along the boards. It's stopped up by the Panthers. Leafs fighting to get it out of the blue zone, and past the blue line. There is no blue zone in a hockey rink. 14:36 left in the third period. By the way, we're going to a commercial break here. The next time there's a whistle, a non-icing whistle. Brick wall. Chat, are we bricked up? Get bricked up, chat. Let's see it. Let me see a brick wall and a hell yeah, brother. Domi tried to find McMahon. McMahon was not ready for the pass on his backhand, but no matter. He's got the puck. Oh, and Domi's offside. Domi's offside. As a Bolts fan, hearing y'all's problems with defense is always just, that's crazy. Anyway, ours might be our AHL lads, but they've been doing good. Yeah, you also have the best coach in the NHL, for my money. Best coach. Sorry, Panthers fans. I know Paul Maurice has a lot of cups, but John Cooper, I think, is the best coach. Oh, Domi. McMahon tripped, and we got a penalty. Woo! Let me say this. Jay Rosehill tweeted out this crazy-ass stat, and I thought you guys would find it interesting. And this is going to make you mad if you're a Leafs fan. Jay Rosehill said the Panthers have had 50 more power plays, 50-plus more power plays than the Leafs so far this year. They've only played 41 games. Now, before you freak out as a Leaf fan, I want to remind you that for a good 35 of those 41 games, the Toronto Maple Leafs created like next to no offensive pressure, which is where you get penalties like Bobby McMahon just took. So I get what Jay's saying. And listen, I will be the first one to agree with him that the Leafs totally get screwed by the refs constantly. They never finish in the top even half of the league for penalties taken. Penalties taken? Penalties given? Power plays. I'll just say power plays. But this season, they haven't exactly given the refs many opportunities. You create power plays when you're in the offensive zone. Meme Empress, 1,000 games and Coop's never gotten a Jack Adams. You know, Meme Empress, I feel like that's a compliment to him, though. Anybody that gets a Jack Adams gets fired. So I think, man, keep going. Whatever it is you're doing, keep going. By the way, I'm going to go run and get my Bolt Stadium jersey. Hang on. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. All right. So this is the Stadium Series jersey, right? I was not a fan of this. I will admit, it's better in person, but that right there should have been the front of the jersey. This TBL should be on the shoulder patch. That's got to be the jersey, guys. The Jolly Roger should be the jersey. It's Pirates, damn it. How do you mess that up? Anyway, Morgan Riley, Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Matthias Michelli, and Nyes out for PP1. Tavares to Matthews. Over to Michelli. Shot. Saved by Bobrovsky. And a big, fat, juicy rebound, but the Panthers able to clear, but they do not clear the zone. Michelli on the sideboards. Down to Nyes. Tries to get it to Tavares. Goes through his legs. Reinhardt's going to clear, and we got a 2-on-1 against the Leafs' worst defenseman, Morgan Riley, and Ekblad misses the net. Ha ha, sucker. Sorry, nobody likes Ekblad. Michelli to Matthews. Matthews cross shot, and a big save by Bobrovsky off the blocker. Tavares around on the half boards to Matthias Michelli. Michelli to Riley. Riley to Michelli. Riley back to Michelli. Michelli across the ice to Matthews. Back to Riley at the blue line. Down low to Matthews. Down low to Tavares. Down even lower, I guess. Back to Riley at the blue line. Down to Matthews. Now just driving into Tavares, and Tavares almost tips it in. Bobrovsky able to get in the way of that. And Michelli had a shot at Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky saw it the whole damn way. And you know that Bobrovsky, if he sees it, he's probably going to stop it. Even at 37 years old, this guy, man. You can't help but respect the play of Bobrovsky. I told you, it's going to be real hard to get that fourth goal. Great power play by the Leafs and good play by Matthews, but he kind of, so Tavares just missed the pass. Matthews sort of tipped it up, but it was a fluttering play. Leafs unafraid this year, by the way, to play their second power play unit, and thank God for that, because it got a little redundant. Like, why did you even have a second power play unit the last 5 years? And let's be honest, whether the first unit or played well or it didn't, they wouldn't play the other unit. Domi, head manning the puck to McMahon, to Domi. Behind or down low, I guess. That would be in the blue zone, right, everybody? The blue zone. Waugh to Robertson. Robertson out to Ekman Larsson, who should be on the first power play unit. To Domi. Shot is blocked by Jeff Petrie. Out come the Florida Panthers, and that power play is over. But good opportunities on the power play. Keep creating. Keep creating. That's what we need from the Leafs power play. Just keep creating, kids. 11:48 left in the period. My bet is that there's not a single other penalty called unless it's egregious or they have to call it like it's a, delay of game. Like, I think the refs are going to just let them play. Panthers get the favorable just let them plays all the time. They are the league's team. Lorentz to Lawton down low. Lawton playing pissed after a big hit against from Luosterainen. Listen, You don't often walk away from a Panthers game unpissed, even if you won it. They are there. They're gonna make you pay. And you know where they learned that trick from? The Boston Bruins, who also used to do this to literally everybody. You'd think more teams would learn. Bill Zito, I have to say, as much as I hate it, brilliant general manager and a brilliant staff. I wish he was my guy. I'll put it that way. Bill Zito and his laser eyes. Looks into your soul. Big shot drop block there by Philip Myers. And Myers collects the puck from Bobby McMahon and is behind the net. Both teams changing. Myers still has the puck behind the net. It's been at least 8 seconds. Why? Okay, now the Leaf fans are booing. Please don't boo. We're trying to rag the puck here, folks. We're trying to win the game. You play to win the game. Hello? Myers to Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Back to Myers. Myers fires it around like it's a live grenade. And look at that. He gave the puck to the Panthers. Didn't make a play. And the puck is kicked out. And is that going to be an icing? No, it is not. Bobrovsky is out of his net. We are going to have a commercial break here. We just passed the 10-minute mark of the third period. Next time there's a non-icing whistle. Waugh chips it up to Robertson. Robertson back to Waugh at the red line. Ekman-Larsson collects. And Nick Waugh is offside as Oliver Ekman-Larsson makes one extra side move at the blue line. All right, let's get to some super chats, shall we? This game's been very exciting. It's been impossible to get to everybody. Meme Empress, pull up the Gasparilla jerseys, Adam. That should be the front of those jerseys. I agree. I've seen those. They're amazing. Sedin Magic 15. I'm afraid to even read this. I don't know why you put this out there, okay? You're on notice, Sedin Magic 15. Are you finally going to get to see a win on a stream? Why did you make me read that? Why did you make me read that? That's not fair. You can't be making me read that. We can't be tempting fate. This is the Florida Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are you nuts? Actually, you're probably enjoying this. You're a Vancouver Canucks fan. Real Rinkside TV. Adam, what's good, dude? Would love to see you guys come to Hockey Day in Canada. Where is it this year? I know I've seen the promos for it, but I haven't paid attention. Hockey Day in Canada. It is where? Oh, it's in Moncton. I really like Moncton. Every time I've been to Moncton, I've been like, this is a fun place. I don't think we're going to get there. It's January 17th. Yeah, we're definitely not going to get there because it's next week. But one day we should. One day we should. Sedin Magic 15 says, I'm sorry, buddy. I couldn't resist. You know what? I'm upset. You're on notice, Sedin Magic 15. That's strike one. All right? Listen, I can always tell Natalie commented, I can always tell Maddie to ban. I would never tell her to ban you. I couldn't do that. You're far too kind. Natalie Ye, who, by the way, if anybody's wondering, that's my wife. Did somebody make a Gripper Nation artwork in the background? I love it. Yeah, Natalie Drake did. Isn't that great? She painted this. Isn't this great? She friggin' painted this. And that's a lot of different feet. Gripper Nation. All stripes. I can't even imagine what it's like to paint that many feet. Imagine somebody who doesn't know about SDPN, and like Natalie's got her like art easel set up in her, in her painting room, wherever that is, garage or in the basement or whatever. And they come down, they're like, "Oh, what are you working on?" And they just see a bunch of outlines of feet. They're like, "Oh, it's cool, man." Like, can you imagine explaining that to somebody? Anyway. Oh, Bolinskis, you're offside. 26. You're offside. It's It's my Jabba the Hutt impression. Meme Empress, 4-2 Bolts. Avs did not survive the Florida Gauntlet. Got a bit of extracurriculars after the buzzer, too. Yeah, apparently Keegan Colasar, by the way, tonight threw a pretty nasty hit. Hayden Fleury had to be stretchered off the ice. I'm just looking at it now. The Vegas Golden Knights, low key, for anybody that's chirping you about Marner, they're not having a great year. And the reason they have as many points as they do is they keep losing, but in overtime. But I don't know that the Vegas Golden Knights are all that great. And I just want to see what Colasar did here. Oh, my God. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, man. You guys have got to look up. I can't obviously run it on the stream because it's NHL footage and we don't have the rights. But, guys, you got to look that up. Oh, man. Carter Verhaeghe just scored the most insane goal I've ever seen. And this is what I'm afraid of. Sedin Magic 15, that goal's on you. Joseph Woll plays the puck, tries to get back to the net, and Carter Verhaeghe bumps it off his shoulder and in. What the hell, dude? Look at this. How does this happen? From behind the net. Oh, I hate how the Panthers get to do this shit to us. It's Toronto only, right? This cartoonish bullshit happens. This is, what are you doing, Joe? What are you doing? Who are you passing that to? Guys, just let it fucking go. Stop the puck, let the defenseman take it, or clear it to the other corner. What are we doing? You're up 3-0. You don't need to make emergency plays like that. Oh my God. Now the Panthers are back in it. 8 minutes to go. This game just got a lot more uncomfortable. And Giggling Cat, aka Cat the Cat's fan, dropping 10 SDPN memberships because she friggin' loved that Verhaeghe goal. Sedin Magic 15, I fully take responsibility for that one. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's important that you own what you've done. Also, you can't help the Leafs being absolutely allergic to closing out a game. Freak 811 says, I need someone to tell me I'm not crazy for spending $700 to frame up a Kirill Kaprizov signed jersey I got for Christmas. Honestly, I'm actually blown away by how much it costs to frame a jersey. Oh, Lorentz is going to have another breakaway. Steven Lorentz and Bobrovsky. Oh, I think that's a continuation. Oh, they blew it dead. Bullshit. Oh, Lorentz almost had it. I thought that was going in. Giggling Cat says, do I gift subs on Panther goals to make you matter? Maybe. You know what, Cat? You and Sedin Magic 15 are causing a little too much trouble, and I don't like it. Look at Lorentz. He goes hard. Forsling is fast, too. And Lorentz does everything he can to get out of the way of Bobrovsky. Had the ref actually had the angle on that, he would see that Bobrovsky did not have it covered, and by continuation rules, Yarncroke would have counted. The officials absolutely did not see where that puck was, and I don't know why he called it dead. Lorentz and Bobrovsky, by the way, were teammates. I think he asked if Bobrovsky was okay. Lawton is still mad. They are going to have a look at it. Is it timing that they're looking at? I think it's just the time. To me, that's a continuation goal. It should be a continuation goal because who's the puck? Who's knocking the net? I don't know. I don't know if it actually crosses though. Yarncroke obviously put it across, but I don't know if they can call that continuation. No, I think that puck does get across. It's under his skate. It gets close. It gets close. I shout out to the NHL for at least reviewing it. I don't know if they're going to get conclusive evidence, but the fact that he got a skate blade on that, damn it. By the way, Maddie, we got to update our scoreboard. Unfortunately, I think that puck goes across the line, but I'm crazy. No. It's 3. It says 3-0. Florida's got the. It still says 3. Yeah, Florida did get a goal. Jerks. Jeff says, put a chip in that puck already. Amen, Jeff. Like, why do we don't need goal line reviews. if we have computers in this. Okay, Sportsnet, that freeze frame does not help anybody. Thank you for that. Justin Drake, as a Bruins fan, the Avalanche just lost 4-2 to Tampa. Let's go. Wait, you're a Bruins fan and you want the Avs to lose? Wouldn't you want Tampa to lose? Why do you want the Avs to lose? I think this is a continuation, by the way, and wow. That's a pretty damn close puck, but I don't know that there's any conclusive evidence one way or the other. Meme Empress says, text producer Drew, see how he feels about the Avs loss. Also, Magic 8-ball time. Let's see what happens after this review. They're really reviewing this. Sedin Magic 15 dropping 10 SDPN memberships. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. Sedin Magic providing the Sedin Magic. By the way, while we're doing this review, Sedin Magic 15, 10 gifted subs to make up for the goal. That is far too kind. You didn't need to do that. Oh, here we go. Yeah, puck never fully crosses the line. It's kind of what I thought. I think that's the right call. Close, though. Locky143, check the score of the Devils game. LOL. It was 5-0 last time I checked. What is it now? Freak811 says, I am a Wylde fan, so I'm happy about an Avs loss. By the way, Freak811, just to say something, you spending $700 on your signed jersey, I think you can do whatever you want. It's your money. But what I will say is I am blown away by how expensive it is to frame a jersey. It's insane. Why does it cost this much? Like, I don't think it's worth $700 to frame a jersey unless you're getting like that glass that, if the sun shines in, that it won't fade the jersey or whatever, right? Or it's bulletproof. Like, did it cost $800 to frame the Mona Lisa? It's insane how much it costs. I tried to get, here we go. I tried to get Tim Haraney, God bless this man, gave me 2 years ago a McLaren jersey, like a t-shirt jersey, signed by Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. And since then, they've won 2 straight team world championships, and Lando Norris won the driver world championship this year. And it's sitting in an undisclosed location at home. And it's now probably worth some money. And I have never gotten it framed because it's so much friggin' money to get it framed. I want to get it framed, but it's crazy. I'm like, I can't justify that right now. My kid's in daycare. That's expensive. All right, here we go. Freak 811 says, I am a Wylde fan. Happy about the Avs loss. Justin Drake. So the Avalanche don't reach the single season best record NHL history that my Bruins currently hold. That makes sense. Now it makes sense to me. Thank you. Matthews wins the faceoff in the Leafs zone. Flips the puck up to McMahon. McMahon, who's been a problem for the Florida defense all game long. I sort of wish this is the Bobby McMahon we got in the playoffs last year. He's been very, very effective for the Toronto Maple Leafs, especially through November, December, when things were at their darkest. Bobby McMahon has been very, very good. Benoit takes Lusterinen on the wall. McMahon tries to chip it up and out, but the Panthers find that, read that play perfectly, kick it back down in. Riley to Benoit. Benoit shoots the puck up the boards. Through the legs of a Florida defenseman. Balinskis is going to receive the pass from Bobrovsky. 6:15 left in the third period. Leafs up 3-1. It was 3-0, but the most fluky goal you've ever seen in your whole life, scored by a very good goal scorer in Carter Verhaeghe, has made it 3-1, which, as a Leaf fan, it makes my palms sweat. Devils are down 7-0. Oh, boy. That's somebody getting fired territory, guys. And I don't think it's Keefe. Because if Sheldon Keefe got fired, I'd be like, yeah, look at the roster you gave him. Rough, dude. I don't know what the Devils do. I know there's Devils fans in this chat right now. I don't know what the Devils do. I don't know. I don't know what they do. Meme Empress chat says it's 7-0 Isles right now. Freak 811 says, I did get the museum glass. I also think it has to do with the size. That could be it too. In terms of framing your jerseys. I just cannot believe how much that shit costs. It's nuts. Anyway, one day I'll get my Lando Norris Oscar Piastri jersey framed. Perhaps when my daughter's old enough to not be in daycare before and after school. Chloe says, thanks for the reminder that my preferred driver, Oscar, lost. I know, but you know what? That guy's future world champion written all over his face. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. All right. Did you guys check out the Kolazar hit on Hayden Fleury yet? I need you to check it out. Maddie, I need you to check it out too. I need you to confirm that you have seen it. It's friggin' nuts. I hope Hayden Fleury's okay. Yeah, Kolazar hit on Fleury. Gino Hard has it on Twitter. You guys should check it out. It's a nasty hit, man. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Gong Show Riley says, is nobody going to mention that the Devils have 40 shots on goal? Whoa. Oh, boy. 78 Conjo says, after watching the Flyers-Ducks game, these two teams need to be in the Winter Classic next year. The bad blood is all over the place. I heard Zegras got a hat trick tonight. Big Hattie for Zegras. That's monster against his old team. And by the way, I got to say, I love Cutter Gauthier. I'm a big Cutter Gauthier guy. Sam Miscavige, puck to the net. Wall is able to cover, and we're good. Torinira says, this chat is missing some Costco gravy. True that. By the way, apparently all the Islanders' goals were at 5-on-5. Oh. Woo! Oh yeah, that's bonkers. Looks like we got a big show to line up tomorrow. 78 Conjo, not a hat trick, but 2 goals. Oh, Zegras got 2 goals. Cutter had a goal. Lots of fights. Drysdale got in a cheap shot. That's the way it's got to be. Those teams should hate each other, and they're only going to play each other a couple times a year. So you got to enjoy those teams. I remember Toronto and Vancouver in like 2020 and in like 2021 and 2022 just hated each other. But they only played twice a year. So you're like, man, I'm ready for these games. They hate each other, but they won't see each other till next October. And Winnipeg and Toronto still hate each other. Rarely play. There should be like a game or two in the season that's not set that the NHL goes, these two teams hate each other, make them play each other again. You know what I mean? Like an actual wild card. That's what a wild card actually is. Wild card in the NHL is just 7th and 8th. But a real wild card is like, we're gonna you know what? We're gonna have Philly and the Ducks play each other one more time. You know what? Let's have Tampa and Florida play one more time. We need more hatred. We call them grudge matches. Oh, Riley just took a puck off the leg, and I don't think it felt good. He fell down. 4:26 left in this third period. Leafs up 3-1 on the Florida Panthers. Oh, McMahon just threw a big hit. And it was behind the play, and McMahon's definitely going to the box for that one. Balanskins might have sold it, but good on him. And here we go. We got some fighting. By the way, according to Rusty Mitchell, the deserve to win-o-meter is 79% Devils right now. That's nuts. So Lawton and Lucerina will not go Lawton. He won't fight him. And then McMahon just finishes his hit, but that is a boarding call 10 times out of 10. Now, I got to be honest with you guys. Oh, so it wasn't a penalty. Oh, Now, I got to say, Balanskins falls kind of easy there. I was just going to say, I was like, did he forget how to skate? This guy's a friggin' strong skater. But no penalty. Woo! No penalty. And you know what? Good. Shouldn't have been. And I did say boarding call 10 out of 10. It still is a boarding call 10 out of 10. I don't retract my statement. That's boarding. Even if you have the puck, you could still be called for boarding. You guys know that, right? Throwing that out there. Meme Emperor says Devils have had a snowman built on them. Man, Meme Emperor says the beauty of Florida Civil War is there's 3 of them. I know. The problem is there's not more. I love Tampa and Florida games are cannot miss. Luosterainen and Carlo are getting into it now. Carlo is just going to use his gigantic frame to push Luosterainen away. Sedin Magic 15, is that a suspension for Kolazar? I honestly don't know with George Peros. Update on Fleury is that he's alert and moving his extremities. I would bet that is. And here's the thing with George Peros. It gives him an easy win. You give Keegan Kolazar 2 games, it's not like Vegas is going to miss that player that much, right? It's different than giving a guy like Brad Marchand a game where the Florida Panthers would definitely miss him, and the outdoor game was like 2 days later. You gotta, that's how the NHL seems to look at these things. And yes, I do, by the way, think Marchand should have been suspended for the Stadium Series game. Big save by Wylde. Another big save. Empty net for the Panthers. Lawton is able to clear. McMahon is out there too, and Austin Matthews. What an interesting group of people. Ekman Larson. Rodriguez fires one, and it hits the blocker of Wall, goes out to the blue line, and that shot is blocked. Matthews able to get it out. And McMahon trying to go for it. Sam Bennett grabs it. Hard turn. Wall able to stop it behind the net to Ekman Larson. Ekman Larson is going to fire that puck up to Bobbert McMobbert. It was very smart of Craig Berube, as it's been pointed out in the chat, to not put Max Domi out in this situation. He put out Lawton instead. That's what you want. You don't want Domi out in a situation like this. You don't want him taking a penalty, and you don't like... Listen, I love Max Domi as much as the next guy. He's not a defensive player. I think we're pretty clear on that. And the Leafs have those guys. And that is not an icing. What? Didn't Forsling touch that? Leafs don't get a change here, too. This is big. This is big. So, Sedin Magic 15, yes, I think it's a suspension for Kolesar because it's an egregious hit. And they do sometimes charge you on the outcome, too. So, yeah, I think that's a suspension. Probably 2 games. Tyson Barnett, I had a shout with my dad, Canucks fan, about bombing the high draft picks to build a strong team that works more than it doesn't. My dad says bombing never works and selling picks in hockey trades is most effective thoughts. Your dad's got a point. It depends on who you make the trades for. First round picks always look like shit when you've made a bad trade. But when you've made a good trade, no one cares. And so, like, you know, when Tampa traded a first-round pick for Barclay Goodrow, people are like, are you friggin' crazy? Well, then they won 2 cups in a row. And then no one cares. That's an insane thing to do. I think they also traded a first-round pick for Blake Coleman. Very good player. First-round pick? Okay. They won the cup. No one cares. So I would say, yes, it's easier to do that. Here's the thing. Hard to find top-of-the-line impact players via trade. And if you look at the Canucks specifically, with the most success they've had in their history, the time that they had the most success was when they drafted the Sedins 2 and 3. Because they were able to build a team around them constantly for years. And I think the only player that the Canucks had that was on that level of like mega superstar was Quinn Hughes. And he's gone now. And you drafted him. So I think you both have a point. It's difficult to find impact players at that level available. By the way, 1:30 left in the third period. I'm talking about the Canucks right now because I'm so damn nervous about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know it's 3-1. I'm a Leafs fan. Why did you do that, Joseph Woll? You just gave it to Sam Reinhart. Stop doing that shit. Woll playing the puck. He's got to work on this. And you could tell he's trying. Great save by Woll on Reinhart. Tavares. Lawton is going to... Oh, Lawton, shoot the damn puck! You've got to shoot the puck, Scotty. Dump it deep. Stop going for the goal, dude. Oh, my God. Nice. Finally, Benoit shoots it down the ice. Who cares if it's icing? Who cares? Oh, my God. Oh. Meme Empress. But Adam, do you really want the Leafs to have a 4-1 lead? It's a good point, but I think it would be safer than a 3-1 lead at this point. W. Frazier Jr. I'll trade Adam jersey framing for a signed picture of Steve eating wasabi in the NHL draft stream. I suggested it for my store, Doug Laurie Sport. Well, thanks, Doug. Yeah, dude. It's him eating that wasabi was insane. And so much more entertaining than the NHL draft, which always sucks. I don't know how they always make it suck, but it does. Okay, Florida calls a timeout. Lalonde's talking to the boys. 48.9 seconds to go. I'm ready to break out and celebrate. I'm also ready to cry. This is what it is being a Leaf fan. If you were the Cats fan who just dropped a SDPN super chat, you'd be like, hey, we're up 3-1. I feel comfortable because I'm a Florida Panthers fan. Leaf fans don't get that. We don't get that. Sure, let's do it. Okay, Tavares wins the faceoff draw. Stetcher behind the net with Bennett. Leafs down a man. Forsling with a shot and a big save off the mask by Woll. Woll's got great position and gets the rebound too. His mask is off and the ref has not called the damn play down. Holy shit. Woll has to yell at the ref to call it. Forsling fucking crushed that. Excuse my language, but holy, hit him right in the chin. And there's 30 seconds left. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Jacqueline K says, Adam, you got to watch the Lowry versus Kolasar fight. Lowry pummels him. Well, good. At least there's a little justice in the world because that's absolute bullshit. Good for Lowry. That's a good captain. 9-0 Islanders? Holy shit. It might be, Maddie just said, is that the worst loss of the season? Like of any NHL team? Yes. Absolutely, that's the worst loss. Has to be. Oh, Joseph Woll is able to get a bouncing puck through traffic here, guys. Holy moly. 28.7 seconds to go. 3-1. Panthers are pushing. McMahon tries to get it out. Reinhart intercepts. Here we go. 18 seconds to go. Joseph Woll makes a save off of Evan Rodriguez. Nick Waugh is going to probably be able to clear this. And he gets it to Bobby McMahon. Bobby McMahon's going to use that speed, and he scores! Leafs win 4-1. Woo! Can I get a hell yeah, brother, in the chat? Give me some hell yeah! Woo! Let's go! Bobby McMahon deserved that shit. He's had a good game. He's been pushing. Good for him. Hell yeahs all around in the chat. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Give me a hell yeah, brother. And the Leafs beats the Florida mother effing Panthers. And by the way, if you're a Panthers fan, you're like, why is he celebrating so much? It's because it's you. And we rarely have good luck against you. Freak 811. Oh, hell yeah. JWT says 9-0 oof on the bright side. Jack and Luke will look great in green. Yeah. Giggling Cat says sigh. Okay, we can be friends again. Hell yeah, Giggling Cat. Give me a hell yeah, brother. Oh. Woo! Meme Empress says the funniest outcome is the Cats missing the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen. I know that's funny for you because you're a Lightning fan, but let's be straight. I don't think that's going to happen. 4-1 is the final. Toronto beats the Florida Panthers. Natalie Yay, a.k.a. my Natalie, just dropped 10 SDPN memberships. Make sure you say thank you to anybody who drops you a free membership in the chat. Grab says the refs caught just watching the game like they're a spectator while Wylde's helmet's been off. So embarrassing. Well, welcome to the NHL and their referees. Giggling Cat being a great sport, dropping 10 SDPN memberships, even though she's a Panthers fan, and we actively rooted for her downfall all night. Drowsy Dan says, what's worse, 9-0 or them leaving Markstrom in for all of it, or Sorokin with a 44-shot shutout? I think leaving Markstrom in is devastating. Oh, my. They left Markstrom in for the whole thing? That's a hell no, brother. Unless they're playing back-to-back. Are they playing back-to-back? Let's look. New Jersey Devils. They are playing Thursday. Did they play last night? No. They didn't have to leave him in, but they did. That's going to be real interesting for Sheldon Keefe to explain post-game. Now, big wins for Philadelphia tonight. Big wins for the Islanders tonight. Big wins for the Lightning tonight. Big win for the Leafs. But the thing I want to talk about, and I don't even know what the score in this game was, all right? The thing I want to talk about, and Maddie's queued it up, is this Keegan Colasar hit on Hayden Fleury. Now, Hayden Fleury is in a bit of an awkward spot here. Can we throw that first frame up there, Maddie? Let's go through this hit. This hit's bonkers, guys. It's bonkers. So Hayden Fleury plays the puck, and he's already played the puck well before this. And Colasar goes at him. And again, you can't see it in this, but he's going at him full speed, right? This is like a charging call at minimum. Now, let's bring up the second frame so people can get a sense of what exactly happened. Now, you look at this. When he takes the hit, he's at the hash marks. Look at that. At the hash marks, okay? And he starts to fall. Next frame, Maddie. Let's get to the next one. Okay? And look at that. The hit carries him at least 4 or 5 feet away from the hash marks, and you could see his head makes contact with the boards. Colasar hit him at full effing speed without the puck. Holy guacamole. That's a scary hit. By the way, we're going back to the Leafs game here. Rusty Mitchell, expected goals for the Devils, 298. The Islanders, 143, and it was 9-0 Islanders. Hockey is a silly game. Wow. Okay, listen, can we just talk a little bit? I want to do, when we're doing these streams, I do want to do a little bit more post-game than we've been doing. Sometimes we just fucking leave, and I don't want to do that. I want to talk to you a little bit about what's happened with the Toronto Maple Leafs since they fired Mark Savard. They have taken, in 7 games, out of a possible 14 points, they've taken 12 of them. And they've got a really tough schedule coming up. Florida Panthers were just the start of it, but most of the teams they're playing in the next little bit are playoff teams or teams you expect to be in and around. This is not going to be an easy schedule for them. They are missing William Nylander, and they are scoring and scoring and scoring. The power play looks very exciting. I don't know if you guys saw the Frank Corrado power play breakdown about what they're doing for zone entries. They've completely changed how they get set up on the power play. It looks good. But more than that, 5-on-5 offensively, and I'm sorry I keep scratching my nose, it's just itchy. 5-on-5, it looks so different. They were getting shots from the point all season, but they're getting offensive zone 5-on-5 pressure. I don't know what Savard's philosophies might have been, but whatever they were, they didn't fit this squad. They weren't good. And for them to fire essentially what amounts to an offensive coordinator, and instantly become this good really shows you that sometimes a coach's philosophy and a team's skill set do not match. They don't match. And I think, I feel bad for Savard because I do think people are going to look at him and go, like, it's not like his numbers were great in Calgary either, where the Leafs poached him from. They weren't. So, he was running the power play there, and I think it was like 17th. Cool, man. Berube evidently behind the scenes fought pretty hard to keep him. And if I'm Brad Treliving, I'm going to go, hey, Craig, maybe next time you want to listen to me. It's just like, it's so crazy how much different this team looks. They look meaner. They look like you saw against the Devils. Now, listen, everybody bullies the Devils. The Islanders bullied the shit out of the Devils tonight. But you saw Matthew Nyes and Nico Hischier talking. And Matthew Nyes going, okay, are you going to shut up or are we going to go? And they went. And good on, listen, Nico Hischier has like 30 less pounds on him than Matthew Nyes does. Sometimes as a captain, you got to step up, and he did. But on the Leafs side of that, I really like the fact that there's like some bite, some FU in their game. I just, and I'm looking at the way this is going, and I'm going, you've grabbed 12 of 14 points, which is the most basically anybody can ask of you over the course of 2 weeks. Just keep it going. If you have a good month, you can take most of February off unless you're going to the Olympics. You can rest. You can recoup. You can go to Cancun, get a tan, heal your bruises, and get ready for March. But I think the Leafs' goal right now needs to be get yourself at very least into a wild card spot by the time the Olympic break happens. I don't think that's too much to ask. Like, if I'm looking at the unupdated standings, because these standings will not be updated until the end of the night. I'm looking at the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh, maybe they were just updated. No, they're not. The Toronto Maple Leafs, 47 points. Oh, no, maybe they are. So they're now tied with the Florida Panthers. And they're 2 points out of the last wildcard spot, currently held by the Pittsburgh Penguins, who have looked extremely beatable. And, Montreal has fallen in and out of the playoff picture. Detroit actually has been pretty consistent. Tampa had a rough go there. This is doable. You got to get into that playoff spot, though, before that break. It's got to happen. Now, let's do a little super chat here. Meme Empress says, wasn't it a 9 spot hung on Patrick Waugh when he told Montreal he was never playing for them again? Yeah, he went to the general manager, Réjean Houle, and said, trade me. I'm never playing for you again. And it was funny because Réjean Houle wasn't sitting in a box like today's general managers. He was sitting behind the bench, and there was no glass there. He could just talk to him. Like, you go look up the clip, you're like, man, was he not afraid of a puck hitting him in the nose? But yeah, he just went to him and he said, hey, trade me. Crazy. Robert Bett. Should have been a shutout, but that goal was just too leafy. Well, we needed a little bit of leaf in there. We got to be on brand. Giggling Cat, 9 goals and no pull. Isn't that how Waugh went to the Avs? Yes, there we go. Drowsy Dan, what's worse, 9-0? Okay, we got that part. Yeah, no, we're good. Listen, I am hoping this. I am hoping that the Leafs can fight like dogs. One of the things I had a friend reach out to me today, and I think they made a really good point. And this person really knows hockey. And they said, and they're a Leaf fan, I want the Leafs to have to fight every step of the way to the playoffs. Because the last good part of the last decade, you get to January and it's like Boston, Toronto, Tampa in 1, 2, and 3, 3, 2, and 1, whatever. And then recently the Florida Panthers have shown up and become the powerhouse that they've become. The point is that Toronto could essentially take 2 months off. And they kind of did. right? You'd be a playoff spot basically locked up in mid-January. And you're like, okay, I just got to go 50-50 the rest of the way, and we're good. And then we'll turn it back on for the playoffs. You know the teams that do really well? It's the teams that are turned on before the playoffs, into the first round. I want to tell you, look up the 2012 Los Angeles Kings, a good team who could not score worth a damn. They get Jeff Carter at the trade deadline. They squeak into the playoffs in 7th place, and they win a cup. And it's their start of their 2 cups in 3 years run. Oh, Lowry and Colasar. I'm just seeing the replay of this Lowry Colasar fight. Good fight. Good fight. Anyway, I if the Leafs are going to do something this year, I don't want any trades at the trade deadline. What you got is in the room. Get after it, boys. I hope that's what happens. I want to do a big shout out to producer Maddie tonight, who was able not only to do this wonderful stream, but also ran the chat too. So big shout out to Maddie doing double duty tonight. She did great. Don't forget, LFR tonight, well, early tomorrow morning, probably 2 or 3 a.m. whenever Drew gets it posted. Steve Dangle podcast tomorrow. We're back, baby. We're back. The Leafs are looking good. I'm not getting cocky yet, but the Leafs are looking good. Crossing my fingers. And by the way, I will be back with a giveaway on Thursday when the Leafs take on the Philadelphia Flyers. So we'll see you Thursday night for our next stream. Love you all. Love you, Maddie.